Good evening, everybody. My name is Alan Germain. I'm your town moderator. If you would all be so kind as to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing if you would be nice enough to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Dave Robertson, would you step up and do the invocation, please?
Oh. We're going to stand? Okay. I think we got to stand up.
Robinson.
I think we all just...
Would you bow your heads? Father God, I thank you for the privilege of being an American. We are thankful to live in a nation whose founders understood the importance of the providence of God if our country would succeed. This evening, I ask you, Heavenly Father, to guide our elected officials of this town as they continue to be the tools used by you to build the house. Please grant them wisdom, guidance, boldness, empathy, protection, stamina, and courage as they represent we, the people, in this auditorium. May live each day with the motto, duty is ours, but the results are God's. Please grant we, the people of this auditorium, to live up to the nation's highest principles, that we might be agents of hope, of kindness, of goodness. And I ask all this in the name of our Lord and Savior. Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. In your warrant packet, you will see an amendment form. Anyone can make an amendment to any of the articles. You have to fill out that form, mention the amendment number, sign it, your address, and turn it in. We'll read it. It requires a second. If that should happen, then we will discuss it. If it doesn't get a second, then it'll fail. If it gets voted on and the amendment is turned down, we go back to the original article as written. I'd like to introduce everyone with me. To my left, we have Town Council Greg Corbo, our Town Administrator Glenn Cannon, Chairman of the Select Board Mark Townsend. Mr. Chairman, would you introduce the rest of your board?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. To my left, your right, Vice Chairman Dan Ryan, Sarah Hewins, Jim Hoffman, and John Cotter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To my right, we have Jeffrey Demore from Meridia, or from Carver. Cara Dayhill, our town clerk, Karen Praval, our finance director, Scott Neef, and Ron Griffin from the school. To my right on stage, we have our school committee. Oh, Stephanie's not here?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Well, Kelly Nemi will take over as vice chair. Madam Vice Chair, would you introduce the rest of your board, please?
Kelly Nemi, Vice Chair. Sorry about that. Katie Sullivan, Secretary, Jackie Lake, Board Member, and Bill Cullum, Board Member.
Thank you. On stage to my left is the Finance Committee, chaired by Pat Maha. Pat, would you introduce the rest of the Finance Committee?
Yes, I will. Sitting to my left is Beth Solger, the Vice Chair. We have Tony Macrina, we have Walter Cole, and we have Jen Cullum from the Capital Outlay Committee. And I'd just like to put a plug out there, too, that we're down to 4 members now, so if anybody out there has any interest in becoming a Finance Committee member, please give an application to the Town Administrator. Thanks.
Thanks, Pat. We also have on the stage our Capital Outlay Committee, chaired by Elizabeth Solger. Beth, would you introduce the rest of your committee?
Sure. The rest of our committee is kind of spread throughout the tables, but we have our Vice Chairman, John Cotter, from the Select Board. We have Jackie Lake from the School Committee, and Jen Cullum. Sorry. All right, I'll do it again. Sorry. So our committee's spread throughout the tables here tonight. So we have John Cotter, Down below from the Selectmen, we have Jackie Lake from the School Committee and Jen Cullum down here to my left.
Thank you, Beth. We also have in attendance tonight Senator Kelly Dooner, our state representative, and we have Representative John Gasky from our hometown. So now comes the fun part. We need to test the clickers. Everybody have a clicker? I do not, for the record, but everybody else? And we're going to ask a silly question. I need everyone to vote so we can make sure that everybody works and everybody's voice is heard. So the question is simple. Do we like turning the clocks back? Because that's coming up. So it's a yes or no question, and I will open the voting. I'll give you 20 seconds, and the voting is open now. Everybody know how to use the clickers? Okay, stop the clock. On the clicker face is a yes, no, and I think an abstain. But we don't use abstain, so it's yes or no. Make sure when you press the yes or the no, there's a flashing accepted on your display. Now, if you can switch it yes or no as many times as you want. When we shut them off and call for the vote, the last button, the last vote you made will be the one that works. So if you try to bounce back and forth, the last push you make when we shut these down will be the vote that's recorded. So let's try this one more time. Does everybody like turning their clocks back? Yes or no, begin the count.
Huge.
So,
$1 a day. And you're like, ChatGPT. First,
And 10 seconds.
Franklin.
When did you reset?
No, that's okay. And close the vote. What's the count? 394? Okay. Well, it's nice to know that the vast majority does not like turning their clocks back. Well, we're not using the second room, so you can go to let that be displayed. So everybody understands what we're doing here tonight, it's a little bit different. Because we weren't sure of the turnout, we have a second location, which is the cafeteria. This room holds 600 people. We have 600 clickers. Should we get 625 people, then 25 are going to have to go into the cafeteria. And there'll be an assistant moderator, there'll be an assistant town clerk, and they will be voting with a card. So at that point, we will still vote in here with the clickers. The vote will be held off in its results, and it will not be shown on the screen because I do not want it to influence the vote from the cafeteria, which is also on their screens in there. So they can see us, we can see them. So that's how this is going to work tonight. But it looks like with the empty seats we currently have, it doesn't appear we're going to need the second room. So I think we're good to go.
Can we have a total who checked in? Because we have the number for clickers, 394 that clicked in. Is there a difference between how many people actually checked in? Because some clickers may not work.
Well, I'm more concerned with a quorum, which we currently have, but I'll ask the clerk. Do you have a count?
We have Donna, how many do you have up there? Yep, but people are just coming in.
So they're still coming in, we're at 424. What is it, does that satisfy your question, or?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that everyone gets the vote
Right.
here.
This was just a test to make sure we had a quorum, that's all this was. I'm assuming everybody's clicker is working, 'cause I know the clerk tested it.
Some people.
Yep. So the next thing on the agenda is I'd like a motion to allow town employees, council, and a few others who are not residents of the town of Carver to speak. Council Greg Corbo, Town Administrator Glenn Cannon, Finance Director Karen Praval, Police Chief Mark Dufely, Town Planner Tom Bott, Scott Neef from the school, and Ron Griffin, the CFO, Joe Roach, you hiding in here somewhere? There he is. Joe Roach, who's here to consult for our pilot program that's in the warrant. And Jeff Osich. Jeff, where are you? There he is. From the Carver, Marion, Wareham Refuse Disposal District.
So moved.
Yes, there will be some other, oh, and Senator Kelly Dooner. So,
moved.
motion's made and seconded. We can probably do this with a voice vote, make it quick and easy. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So, it passes. The lone no. Motion, I'd like a motion to waive the reading of the warrant and accept the proposed motion for articles as printed in the warrant. I need a second. Second. Motion made and seconded. Again, we can do this with a voice vote, if that's all right. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So passed. Okay, each speaker will get 3 minutes at the microphone. Anyone that's making the motion will be given more, of course, more latitude because it's their motion, so, in their article. It's very unusual that someone can't hear me. I don't think my wife would agree with you. Can you turn this up for back there, Mike? Because it's echoing wicked in my ears. All right, can you hear me now? Okay.
Point of order.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think you announced the town planner's name.
I did. Well, but I announced it, and it was part of the motion to allow him to speak. Thank you. Okay, I don't think I've missed anything, right? So we can move on to Article 1.
I move, Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to approve Article 1 is printed in the warrant.
Need a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded on Article 1. Who's speaking on it? Glenn?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Just for the townspeople, so these are bills from the past fiscal year that we were, for whatever reason, unable to pay once we hit July 1st. Sometimes it is just the contractor doesn't know that we're on a fiscal year, and they submit the bills late. There are times when we receive a bill and then we dispute the bill, and that puts it over that July 1st deadline. This is generally a routine matter of unpaid bills from the past fiscal year that we'll pay with the approval of town meeting.
Okay. Any other discussion on the unpaid bills? Seeing no movement to the mic. We can probably do this with a voice vote, make it easy as well. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? What? Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't expect it to be not unanimous. Not my first day on the job, you know. I also missed, and I apologize. The chairman asked me to mention that there are openings on boards, committees, and commissions. It's in your warrant. On the back is an application. Step up. Get involved in your town so you'll know exactly what's going on. There are openings all over the place in here. So, come join us for the fun. Not much of a Christmas bonus, but, you know, it can be lively. Article 2.
I move that the town approve Article 2 as written in the warrant.
I need a second.
Second.
Motion made and seconded for Article 2. Who's presenting?
Mr. Moderator, Glenn Cannon again. On this article, these are cost of living increases for our part-time firefighters and a couple of full-time firefighters. We have given cost of living increases to every other town employee. We feel it's only fair that the part-time fire department staff also get these same cost of living increases.
Anyone else speaking on it?
Can I move to amend the article?
You can.
So my proposal is to see if the town will take the $9,268 from the town planner's salary and allocate it to the fire budget as requested, and immediately cut that amount from the permanent salary of the planner position.
That needs a second. Amendment, I need that. You got to bring that up here. That article is, amendment is made and seconded. Let me read it again. It says to see if the town will take $9,268 from the town planner's salary line and allocate it to the fire budget as requested and immediately cut that amount from the permanent salary of the planner's position. It's presented by Dan Ferrand. Cara? That amendment has been made and seconded. Did anyone want to discuss it?
Moderator?
Yes.
Is the town planner a contract employee?
No.
Excellent.
Anyone else? Making his way.
Evening, Mr. Moderator. Ben Dexter, 149 High Street.
Hey, Ben.
I don't know if the movement of the article would be willing to explain what his purpose is, or through you, if that would be possible.
I don't know. Dan, if you want to get up and explain that and answer that question. This needs to be put on the wording so we can vote on this amendment.
So the point of the amendment is that the planning board has jumped through hoops related to a different article. They've gone to bat for everybody in this room. If you've attended the meetings and you've listened, there's a disconnect when the planning board gives direction to the planner, and the planner gives direction to the person that he recommended to hire. It's been an absolute, complete failure from what the planning board has asked for and what makes it to that person and back to the planner. That's why I moved to cut the planner's salary, fully support the fire department and what they're doing, but I'm clearly making a point here.
Yeah, hold on. You all set, Ben, or do you want to? You still, no, you still have it if you want to continue.
All set, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Corbo?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Moderator, just a point of procedure. So when town meeting votes on the budget, they don't vote each individual employee's salary. Rather, it's categories, salary and expense. So through you, Mr. Moderator, to the Speaker, the proper motion would be to transfer from the planning expense line, from the planning salary line to the, was it fire department salary budget?
Okay. So that's made and seconded. Yes, sir.
Mr. Moderator, Paul Owen from Main Street. Years ago, we had a group of people that were very upset with, I believe, Chief Diane Skoog. And we had a number of people who came to town meeting and did exactly what they did here. And I'm going to repeat the same thing. This is not the place for that discussion or this action. You have elected people and a manager that are Mr. Bott's supervisors. If you don't like how he is doing his job and they don't do anything about it, the proper place to take care of that is at the polls and put up new people on the select board. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other? Seeing no movement to the mic. This is on the amendment to see if the town will take, as council suggested, $9,268 from the salary line of the planning department and allocate it to the fire budget as requested and immediately cut the amount from the permanent salary of the planner's position. I'll open the voting, 20 seconds. Voting is open. Ten seconds. Close the vote. 221 yes, 172 no. The motion, the amendment passes. So we're back to the original motion of Article 3, adjustment of fire department salaries now as amended. And any discussion on that? Then I will open that vote as well. 20 seconds on the clock. Begin the vote. It's still Article 2, but it's as written in the as amended, but 10 seconds. Time's up. Close the vote. Excuse me, I'm in a vote. 275 to 65, the motion passes as amended. What is your point of order, Mr. Belvin?
Well, they said it was 400 and something people in here, 420 something. There's 340 votes. I think you need to give a little bit more time for people to vote in. Some have never been here and done this before, so just to make sure we get 400 votes. We only got 340 here. If you vote yes or no, it'll say okay on your clicker, so.
Say an A or a B.
Everybody got a little insignia up in the display?
Mike, Alan.
Everybody's display should have a little insignia up in the top of it if the clicker is turned on. And then when you press the yes or no button, it should confirm that in the display.
Mr. Moderator, point where I'm just on the motion, I was confused. The screen says as written in the warrant, and I was not clear on what you said in relation.
It's as amended now because the amendment to that passed.
Okay, I found it confusing just because the screen stayed.
So it's not as written in the warrant, it is now as amended in the warrant, and the amendment was. No, I agree. I agree.
Mr. Moderator?
Yes.
On the amended screen, it said proposed motion. I move that the town approve Article 2 as written in the warrant.
Right, and I said as amended in the warrant, because we had just passed the amendment, so the wording hadn't been changed yet. Yeah. Counsel?
Through you, Mr. Moderator, on the issue of how many votes are made, not everyone has to vote on every article. So some people may abstain and not vote at all, and then their vote would not be reflected in the totals. So, however, if you are intending to vote and you do not think that your clicker is working, then you should raise your hand so that somebody can swap out that clicker.
And at least double check it and make sure.
Right.
Thank you. Article 3.
Mr. Chair, I move Article 3 as read and as written in the warrant.
Motion made and seconded for Article 3. Who is speaking on Article 3? Dave? This is a 5-0 vote of the Select Board and a 5-0 vote from the FinCom.
Through you, Mr. Moderator. This article is to raise and appropriate $37,630.25 through the Operations and Maintenance Department. This article came to fruition through two parts. We're doing upgrades to the 3 public water supplies, being this building, the Carver Middle High School, the Carver Elementary School, and the Carver Municipal Well, which serves the municipal buildings in the center of town, as well as the housing complex out behind the library. The first part that brought it to fruition is we've already completed a corrosion control enhancement on the well to finalize, which is not running yet. We need to upgrade some of our controls to pass the DEP inspection. That is part of this money. The second part that the money is for is, as of August 1st, we now have a new contracted water operator. They will be the ones doing this work, as well as some other upgrades to all 3 wells, to the controls to make them uniform, and just make the overall performance of the systems better.
Thank you, Dave. Mr. Belvin.
Who's the new water operator?
The new water operator is MP Water Systems out of Fall River, Massachusetts.
They're good, thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing no movement to the mic. Article 3, improvement the municipal and school wells. I'll open the vote. You have 20 seconds. Begin the vote. And make sure your clickers are working. Make sure you see something in the display. If you don't think that's happening, then let us know. It's looking better now. Close the vote. Passes 372 to 44. That's better, 416. Article 4, adjusted veterans exemptions. Hi, Ellen.
Hello. I move that the town approve Article 3 as written in the warrant.
Speak up. I want him to hear it in the back. Pretend you're mad at Steve.
What? I move that the town approve Article 3 as written in the warrant.
Article 4.
4. Oh, it says Article 3, sorry. I'm looking in the wrong place. 4.
Needs a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded for Article 4, adjusted veterans exemption. Did you want to talk on it, Ellen?
This is something that has come up a lot in the past, where people have, who are disabled vets, and they have put their homes in a trust with one of their children as a trustee. Sorry. And the whole purpose of this is to allow those people who intend, those disabled vets, because this all comes under Chapter 59, Section 5, Clause 22 in it. This particular section is 22G. And we would like that everybody wants their veterans to stay in their homes in Carver if they can. And so that's what we're asking for you to all vote yes for. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Robert Bourne, 31-7 South Meadow Village. I'm a veteran and disabled. How does this affect me?
Ellen, I don't know if you could hear him or not. He said he lives in South Meadow. He's a disabled vet. How does this affect him?
Unfortunately, when you live in a mobile home park, the mobile home itself is not considered a home. It's considered personal property. It's a state law. Then we've tried many times to get that changed, unfortunately to no effect. And so it won't affect you at all, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Couldn't hear you. Could you speak into the mic a little louder?
Yeah, let me get that down a little
People
lower.
back. You got to speak loud.
I got a big mouth.
I know
Usually
that,
I
right?
don't need a microphone at
Yeah.
all. Try that. Get right up
Okay.
in the mic.
No. Okay, yeah, okay, thank you. I'm sorry, sir, but as you live in a mobile home park, mobile home parks by law are considered, the mobile homes in the mobile home parks are not considered a deeded home. They are personal property, so you'll never see a mortgage on them, or you'll never record it at the Registry of Deeds, because there's no deed that is accompanying the sale of that home. So it only affects people who own their own homes, have given it to, or sold it, or transferred ownership to a trust, and that trust, the person who is the trustee of the trust becomes the owner, unless they're, and what I've seen happen more recently is that folks who have made themselves beneficiaries of the property, then it will affect them, but not in a mobile home park. I'm sorry.
Did that answer your question, sir?
I don't know.
I think the bottom line is that if you're in the mobile home park of South Meadow Village, it does not help you because your home's considered personal property. It's not considered real property, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you for your service, sir.
Yes, sir.
George Olson, South Meadow Road. First of all, I think maybe you should put some mics up there so that gentleman and myself are both disabled vets. Don't have to make this long walk down.
I think we have a portable mic, do we not?
You have it up there?
Mr. Shaw, we have a portable mic for those that can't make it to, I'm sorry, I was remiss in not making that announcement. If you can't get out of your chair or it's inconvenient to get out of your chair, please put your hand up and we'll come to you with a portable mic. You can remain in your seat. I apologize. My fault.
No problem. The other thing is, I think they're already doing it for the veterans that are living in their homes, and you're making an exception to trying to understand what you're doing here. You're making an exception for the trustees, conservator, and other fiduciaries that you're not doing now.
I'm not really certain that I understand what you mean.
Well, we're even, because I can't hear you.
Mr. Moderator?
Yes.
Can I field this question?
Yeah,
Through
would you?
Thank you. So, under the general laws as they stand right now, there are a number of real estate tax breaks that are available to veterans. But one of the requirements to get that is that you have to be the legal owner of the home, meaning that your personal name has to be on it. But some people, for estate planning purposes, put their homes in trust, and then they continue to live there. So what this does is, if you have put your home in trust and you otherwise qualify for the benefits, you will still get the benefits even though you are not technically the legal owner of the property. Now, unfortunately, for those of you who live in the mobile home parks, you can't benefit from this because the real estate is owned by the park, and they pay a tax which then gets passed on to you through your user fees. But for any of the veterans who have individual lots and homes, and they put those lots and homes into trust, then they get to the same advantage as somebody who did not put their home in trust.
Thank you.
Ben?
Mr. Moderator, Ben Dexter, 149 High Street. If I could ask a question of Town Council through you, if that would be
Sure.
all right. I do notice that the second line says the residence is owned by a trustee, conservator, fiduciary. It's my understanding that usually the home would be owned by a trust, not the trustee itself. In any event, because this is a local option, is that irrelevant anyway, how it's written?
Yeah. Through you, Mr. Moderator, that's exactly the way the statute is written. We can't change that.
Understood. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Paul Signorella, Main Street.
Speak up.
Paul Signorella, Main Street.
Thank you.
My only question on this article is there a time limit for the exemption? So if the trust stays open, say, forever, if they keep renewing the trust, does the tax exemption pass on forever? So eventually, if that makes sense.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Moderator. Well, you have to satisfy the other criteria to get the exemptions, one of which is that the property is your primary residence, and so it would not be able to indefinitely be passed on, I guess, unless some other qualifying person moves in. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing no hands up, no movement to the mic. I'm sorry? Did you want me to bring you a portable mic, or do you? No, they won't be able to hear you. Can we get this young lady a portable mic? Please? Put your hand back up so that Mike Shaw can find you. Oh, there we go.
Thank you. Hi, Joe Beedling, Meadow Street. These veterans,
Speak close to the mic, Jody. Thank you.
Joe Beedling, Meadow Street. If these veterans are not qualified to get this tax break, then why can't they get a tax break on the excise taxes for the vehicles that they do own?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
Trade-off. They can't get a tax break on the property taxes on this. Why can't they get a tax break for their excise taxes on their vehicles?
One has nothing to do with the other, but
Through you, Mr. Moderator, the statute does not provide for that, and the town cannot give any sort of tax break unless it's in a statute.
Well, how do you get it in effect? These veterans deserve it. They fought for the freedom of this country. They deserve something.
you're absolutely right, which is why we put this forward.
Sounds like it's a question for our two
If I may?
representatives here.
If I may, you are a veteran who qualifies for an excise exemption is qualified for one vehicle.
That's crazy. You know, you're essentially spitting on veterans for defending your right to be a jerk, if you will.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, but unfortunately, we're off the article, so,
It's on this.
well, no, it's excise tax is not part of this article, so we're away from the article.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Gasky? Sure.
Just to address that, the idea, there is, Senator Dooner and I were conversing. We believe that there actually is something along those lines that has been submitted. I'm actually on the Veterans Committee, so if it has been, it'll come through that committee, either that or it will end up in the Ways and Means Committee with regards to taxation.
Thank you, Mr. Gasky. Anyone else? Seeing no further movements, no hands up, we'll open the vote. You have 20 seconds, and you may begin. Ten seconds. And close the vote. All right, close, zero that. We'll try it again. Begin the vote. You have 20 seconds.
Oh, really? Oh, is that?
Oh, I don't know. I wonder.
All right, who's not working? Stop the clock. Whose is not working? All right. Carver, can we get someone to look at that? Switch it out.
Up front here, too.
Did you hear that?
One question on these. When you first initiated the test, all of these have a number, correct?
Yeah.
If you bring up the test screen again and everybody answers according to the number on your vote, we can see whose isn't working, correct?
They're not signed. We don't,
You You can look at your number.
No, we don't know we have no idea what number you have. That isn't recorded. Your name is not tied in. No, sir.
Okay.
We do that on purpose so that nobody has a record of how they voted. This is strictly an anonymous yes or no vote. The software is capable, but we don't do it. So we have that worked out? I'm going to try this again. All right, I'm going to go 30 seconds on this because there's a really big crowd tonight and some of you are brand new to the clickers, so we're going to go 30 seconds. Yeah, you want to zero that? Stop it and start over. All right, open the vote. And I'm going to go 30 seconds on this.
Yep, that was right on point. Bullet.
Now, look. I know, but look. Five seconds. And close the vote. 379 to 40. The motion passes.
Thank you.
I'm still not convinced that everybody's clicker is working. So I think we have more than 419. What numbers are we up to in the clickers? Donna, what's the last number you gave out on the clickers, please? You had 459, but some have already left? So how many do you have in the bucket? Okay.
440.
443? 419? All right, we'll try this one more time, and if this continues to be this bad... No, we're not going to vote on this again, and we're done with the vote on this one. We're going to try the next article with a clicker vote, and if that doesn't work, then we're going to go to the old-fashioned way. Article 5.
I don't have cards anymore, right? They took them.
Article 5.
That is the Board of Assessors. Be the Board of Assessors.
Joe?
I can't make a motion.
Want me to do it?
They asked.
Joe can't make the motion.
I'll do it. I move that the town approve Article 5 as printed in the warrant.
Second.
Motion made and seconded for Article 5. Approve and authorize the execution of the Battery Energy Storage System Pilot Agreement with Cranberry Point Energy Storage, LLC. Joe Roach is our consultant on this. You've already approved him to speak, so I give you the floor, Joe.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me well enough?
Speak up.
All right. My name's Joe Roach. Like Mr. Germain said, I'm a consultant for
A little bit louder.
I'm a consultant for the Battery Point pilot agreement. We've been working on the pilot agreement the last 2 years. Many of you know we've done pilots in the last several years, and they've come before you before. Pilots cover personal property. So if you're thinking about the battery cranberry storage facility, you're looking at, this is a pilot that covers the containers above the ground. This covers everything that you would think of as being a battery. Everything else, the foundations, the land underneath the foundations, that's going to be assessed as real estate taxes. So we do pilots for several reasons. Pilots help you collect personal property tax, which is difficult to collect because you cannot put a lien on personal property, you cannot foreclose on personal property. So this provides the town with additional mechanisms to collect. In this case, it's in the form of a letter of credit. So if Cranberry Point ever decided not to pay their bill, there's a bank out there that's guaranteed their payment a one-year payment in the amount of $1,690,000. The payment every year for 20 years from the pilot will be $1,690,000. Over 20 years, that is $33,800,000. So this is a very significant sum of money. This is approximately 4% of the town's operating budget in FY25, coming out of a 5-acre parcel of land. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Really? Wow. Okay. Oh, we have a hand up. Can we get him a portable mic? Mike? Mike?
Thank you. Jonathan Lecce, Anway. So I got a question for our speaker. Does this mean this battery storage unit is going to be built in this town? Is that what you're to say to
already built.
So through you, Mr. Moderator, it's already built, it's already operational. It was there and complete essentially as of January 1, 2025. So in the absence of this pilot agreement, it would be picked up as new growth and added to the tax levy. 20 years from now, it's pulled out. Everybody in the town would be left bearing the burden of that property that's no longer there. So the pilot agreement puts us as a local receipt. It doesn't get put on anybody's tax bill at the end of 20 years. There's no sunset. There's no fiscal cliff. It's the best way to collect these agreements. And like I said, it makes it more secure, more collectible. And over the 20 years, you collect what you otherwise would. It's just a different way to go about it.
Did that answer your question? Yes, sir.
Paul Signorella, Main Street. I was wondering, have they done any ground testing, and will they be monitoring testing throughout for any seepage or leakage of lithium?
It's not part of the article. I can't let you go there.
Okay.
It's not germane to the article. The article is about a pilot agreement, not groundwater testing. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. He's coming.
Hi, thank you. Hi, I'm Susan Drew from Donway, and anyway, I am concerned about the fact that this is located near the elementary school.
Again, ma'am, I'm going to stop you because A, it's already built, it's online, it's operational, and it's not germane to this article.
I understand what you're saying to me. I'm still not satisfied because it concerns me that it's near the elementary school.
Yes, but you're not listening to me. I'm telling you, you can't discuss this. It's not part of the article. Hand back the microphone, please.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. The purpose of an article is to discuss the article, not discuss stuff that is not in the article. We'll be here till next Tuesday. Yes, ma'am.
Paula Welch, Priscilla Mullins Way. Can you just, I just want clarity on, is what we're voting on, whether we're collecting taxes on it or not, or what exactly,
Yeah, what-
two sides of what we're voting on?
If you'd permit me for a second, Joe, I'm going to try to put it in English. This is, the pilot agreement sets this money aside. If we don't set this money aside, then it goes into the tax levy. When they stop paying taxes on this, the money's still in the levy, which means we have to then make up the shortfall. We have to raise it in our taxes because it never comes out of the levy. So the whole reason for a pilot agreement is to not have it whack the levy because it can't come out of the levy except with an underride, and that'll never happen in today's day and age. Am I?
And Mr. Moderator, it's a payment in lieu of taxes.
Right.
So they're paying what they otherwise would pay in taxes.
Perfect, thank you.
It just gives it more definition. Mr. Belbin.
I just want to be, I think you need to take a deep breath before you start speaking out at people.
Excuse me, Mr. Belbin, is this about the article?
Well, I do want to sum up, but I just wanted to be aware.
I appreciate that. Is this about the article?
Okay, so this payment in lieu of taxes, if they were paying regular taxes, would it still be the same amount of money than what we're going to get in this payment in lieu? And the second part is this, does it decrease through those 20 years, or does it stay that same payment?
Per Mass General Law guidelines, you're required to approximate what you would otherwise collect through taxation. I am a good assessor. The Board of Assessors is made up of good assessors. I have no idea what the tax rate will be in 2044. However, we have 40 years of tax rate data, and we have a depreciation schedule that we're confident on. So looking at it, for all pilots we do, whether it's solar or whether it's a battery, we have to be between 95 and 105% of what you would otherwise collect over that 20-year period. So yes, it approximates what you would collect through taxation. I will not guarantee that if it was in the levy, you wouldn't collect 1% more, but you could also collect 3% less. It approximates what you would collect through taxation.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing no hands, seeing no movement, we put 30 seconds on the clock. Can we open the vote? You may begin voting. I see everybody fanning. I did have them turn the air conditioning on. It's kind of warm in here. Thank you, Dave. Ten seconds. And close the vote. This passes 347 to 64 for a total of 411. And
Misprint, did we?
where's the count again?
Leave.
367 to 44?
I think so. I was leaving.
347. Okay. Thank you. Article 7, amend zoning bylaw 290.
Article 6.
Oh, I apologize. Article 6. Zoning Amendment 290-2-2-3. 347 to 64. Need a second?
Second.
The motion and a second for Article 6 is now open. We are doing Article 6. Come on down.
My name is Joanna Layton. I live at 4 Wyndham Shores. I'm also the chair of the redevelopment. I make a motion to the Mr. Moderator to indefinitely postpone this article.
Motion is made and seconded to indefinitely postpone the article. Is there any discussion?
Savory Moore, 12 South Main Street, Vice Chairman of the Redevelopment Authority. After a couple of meetings with the Planning Board, public meetings with the Planning Boards, the Redevelopment Authority decided now was not the time to put forward this article. Thank you.
Just as an FYI, we will be meeting October 14th. We are videoed. You can come in person and continue to speak with us. We gladly speak with you.
Mr. Belbin.
My only thing is that, are you going to bring this back again in the future? Yes?
Well, that would be impossible for them to say, because,
Well,
don't you think?
For you, Mr. Moderator, I don't know.
okay.
That would be a definite maybe, Bob. But we're firm on that. Is there any other discussion on this? Indefinitely postponing Article 6. Okay. And we will open the vote. Can I have, there you go. Can I have, the vote is open. I'll give you 30 seconds. Indefinitely postponing the article. If that fails, then we go back to the article and deal with it. If it passes, it all goes away. So a yes vote, we're done with Article 6. A no vote, that fails, and we go back to the original article as printed. Now I'll give an extra 15 seconds, because we're in the process of voting, as I was explaining. And you can close the vote. On the motion to indefinitely postpone, it passes 223 to 180. The Article 6 is indefinitely postponed. It's dead. Article 7. Excuse. There's a motion to reconsider and a second on the table. On the motion to reconsider, there is no discussion. So this will be a 30-second time limit on voting. I will open the voting. I'll explain. A no vote means we do not reconsider the motion to indefinitely postpone. A yes vote means it's dead for the rest of this town meeting. Open the voting.
No, it's the other way.
No, it's the other way around.
Yeah. I think you got that backwards.
Mr. Chair,
I'm sorry?
Mr. Chair, I think you have it backwards.
A no vote means we do not reconsider it. A yes vote means we do reconsider it, which means it reopens the discussion.
It's not what you said.
I'm sorry?
That's not how you...
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Let's restate it again.
All right, a no vote means it does not get reconsidered. It fails. The motion to reconsider fails. So we're dead. A yes vote means we reopen the original motion to indefinitely postpone, and we go down that road. I think that's what I said. Didn't I say that? I'll have to watch the video. We haven't? This needs... Yes vote, we bring it back up and hash this for another half an hour. Yep. I need... Yeah, but that's not what it is. I need a reconsideration vote. It's a separate line. It's not... we're not voting on the article. We're doing a reconsideration.
No, it doesn't.
I'll make it easy. Don't worry about it. Just give me a zero count out, will you? Don't vote until I say we are opening the vote, please. He's gonna. It's just a motion to reconsider Article 6, that's it. No other wording can go on it, it needs to go on it. You sure I didn't say that the first time? All right, the vote is open. 30 seconds, you may cast your vote. To reconsider, yes ma'am. No, it's a majority. Yeah? Oh, it is two-thirds. I'm sorry, it is two-thirds.
Two-thirds.
The original vote doesn't count because we're doing this one. So motion to reconsider requires, excuse me, it requires a two-thirds vote. It wouldn't have passed. Yeah. Begin the vote.
Can I make a motion to concern?
The click is obviously our work because I've never seen this. There's a problem with the click.
Reconsideration passes. If the reconsideration's right here. Reconsideration. Vote on the original.
Close the vote.
Motion to
Motion fails. Reconsideration is done. Excuse me? What is the difficulty? I don't understand. There's an overwhelming no vote to reconsider, which means that that's what won. It's dead. Article 6 is now dead. Well, all right, let me explain this one more time. There was a motion to indefinitely postpone. That passed. Then there was a... There was a motion to indefinitely postpone. That passed. Then there was a motion to reconsider. That failed. The motion for Article 6 is dead. It's done. Well, nobody else does. The majority... I tend to doubt that. I'm sorry that you were confused. This is the way it went. Article 7. I'm on Article 7, Debbie.
May I tell you what I would like?
Go ahead.
Listen.
You need to speak up.
We are a town. We are friends. We are neighbors. We are family. This is not working. We need to respect the moderator and what he has to say. If you cannot hear, they have some devices for hearing impaired people. We don't scream and we don't yell. This is not our town. Please be respectful of this process. This is the purest form of democracy. We owe our children and the future generations to be in order here. I am ashamed of this behavior.
Thank you, Debbie. Article 7. Mary Ellen.
Good evening.
Speak up.
Mary Ellen Williams, Chair of the Planning Board. I move that the town approve Article 7 as printed in the warrant.
Motion made and seconded for Article 7, amend zoning bylaw 290-2, 3.6, accessory apartments. This will require a two-thirds vote. And did you want to speak on it, Mary Ellen, or is Mr. Bott going to? Or?
I believe Mr. Bott is going to speak on this matter.
Mr. Bott, as you remember, was one of the members that was a non-resident that was voted to be allowed to speak. Mr. Bott, our town planner.
Evening through you, Mr. Moderator. I'm Tom Bott. I'm the town planner.
You got to speak up, Tom. The back of the room's having an issue. I don't know if the speakers are making it up there or what's the story.
Through you, Mr. Moderator, I'm Tom Bott. I'm the town planner here in Carver, Massachusetts. The town meeting in the spring, we passed zoning bylaw to approve ADUs, accessory apartments. An ADU is essentially an independent living unit that you can place in your yard. The Attorney General partially approved the amendment and had some concerns about some of the specific language in the article. In their partial approval letter, They noted references to things such as single-family residence, and that is the principal thing that's been stricken out of the article. Everything that's in the article basically came from the Attorney General. So the references to single families has been replaced with principal. A reference that no accessory apartment can have more than 2 bedrooms was struck by the Attorney General, as well as some of the parking provisions as well. So this bylaw has been tailored to respond to the comments of the Attorney General as their partial approval letter. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Bott. Mr. Belbin.
Robert Belbin, 26 Gate Street. I don't think I said that the last time I came up. I apologize.
We all know where you live.
Right? So, I have a question. Who wrote our bylaw? And who went ahead and reviewed it?
I didn't.
Through you, Mr. Moderator, I don't know who wrote the original article, but the amendments to the article were the ones that I penned and reviewed by Town Council, I believe. And that went to the Attorney General. When the second bylaw came back, also sent to the Town Council for their review as well.
Thank you. So my question is this, all right, why don't we use the same language that the state wants, is accessory dwelling unit instead of accessory apartment? That's my first question, and I'd like someone to talk about that. The other one is, last year I tried to do this, make everything copacetic, and I got cut down. So there's, it's all right. I have
used to it.
folders. So the state has this thing about model zoning for accessory dwelling units, okay? Why didn't we go through this and use the state language? So can I have those 2 questions answered?
Do you want to take this, Mr. Bott, or do you want me to give it to council?
You can give it to council, but essentially we didn't use the model because we already had a bylaw in place.
Okay, so, but we came back here and we're changing it now because it didn't meet the one. So I want to turn around and say, in this article that's putting up here, which it's not up there, it's in your warrant, okay, there's a part in there that says under section B number 5, it says house or house lot. We say principal dwelling unit or principal dwelling, okay, why are we using house or house lot in that section? Shouldn't everything be the same? We're talking about apples and apples, correct?
So what the law allows someone to do is put an accessory dwelling unit, also known as an accessory apartment. I believe they call them accessory apartments in the bylaw here in Carver. So we've added the sort of the also known as ADU that allows someone to place one ADU on a house lot. And that's what the language is. If you have a duplex on that site, and a duplex is on one lot, you can put an ADU in the back. If you have a single-family house on one house lot, you can put an ADU in the back. And the ADU can be in the back and can be attached. But the law basically says if you have a house lot, you're entitled to having an ADU on it.
Mr. Moderator, I make a motion that we remove house and house lot and we add principal dwelling attached or separate to a principal dwelling. I have it in writing here. This makes the language the same through the whole article.
Need a second? Okay, so that's made and seconded. I got to show that one to council. Greg? You want to opine, or what do you want me to do with it?
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Moderator. So the amendment would change paragraph 5 to remove house or house lot to principal residence. However, house or house lot is the correct reference there because it's determining how many accessory apartments can be built on a lot. The other references to principal residence relate to things like the size of the accessory dwelling unit, whether it has a separate address or, so the other paragraphs that reference principal dwelling all refer to the physical part of this as it relates to the principal house that's already there, as opposed to Section 5, which tells you if you have a lot, this is how many accessory apartments that you can have. It is two different things, and in my opinion, the language should be different.
So are you telling me that this amendment is out of order, or? All right, council says it can be voted on. Yes. Yes, what's your question? You got to come to a microphone or raise your hand, Dave, and we'll get you a microphone.
Check one.
There you go.
Wow. All right. Dave Geiser, 6-9, South Meadow Village. I'm not sure I totally understand, but if I felt that I did not want to see these building cubes on residential properties, would I be voting no?
The ADUs are now by right. All this is doing, to the best of my knowledge, is cleaning up the language to coincide with what's already the state law. Everybody that has a single-family house can now have an apartment, and they can rent it out. It doesn't have to be an in-law apartment. This is all by right, and this is all at state level. This is modifying our bylaws to reflect that new law.
Thank you.
Am I correct? Okay. So Mr. Belbin is proposing an amendment to this which changes the wording, and I'll read it to you in a second. Council wants me to let you know that house or house lot is the wording that's already approved by the Attorney General. So this amendment, correct me if I'm wrong, may not be approved by the Attorney General because they've already approved the other language, but this is what you guys can vote on. So this removes, I can't read your writing, Bob. Remove house or house lot and add principal dwelling attached or separate to a principal dwelling. Is that what you're? Okay. There seems to be still confusion.
It would say only one accessory apartment may be created within a principal dwelling.
Yeah, that's what it says. So I don't know. Come on, settle down. Eric?
Eric Weston, 189 Main Street. I think town council just made the point that I was going to ask, but so the language, through you, Mr. Moderator, to Mr. Bott, or town council, the language that is before us has been approved by the Attorney General.
That's correct.
And will therefore be accepted by the Attorney General.
Correct.
And any changes we might make will bring us back here to discuss those changes
That's right.
that the Attorney General may make again. So I appreciate what Mr. Belbin is trying to do, but I think it's semantics. So I would urge that we vote against the amendment and we vote on it as written. It's by the Attorney General. So it's basically a correction from the Attorney General on our previous vote from April. So I would just urge everybody to stick with that.
Anyone else? Is that a hand that's up in the balcony? No? Okay. I'm trying to pay attention to who might be waving, and they're doing it very quietly. So. Seeing no movement to the mic, this will be on the amendment as printed on the board. Hold on, we have somebody else. Yes, ma'am. Speak loudly.
I'm sorry. I'm Ruth O'Brien from Quaker Road.
Move the mic down. There you go.
I'm Ruth O'Brien from Quaker Road. My only question is renting them out. I'm okay with it,
I didn't hear the question.
I'm just wondering about renting out these ADUs. I have no problem with them being on properties, but but I don't like the idea of them.
Well, the idea now, the state decided that it doesn't have to be for your dear mother-in-law, father-in-law,
Right,
or a relative or your daughter. It can be for a separate rental income.
right, but there's no way we can address
So that's part
that.
of the new state law that allows the ADUs for that purpose.
But there's no way we can address.
There's no way to stop it.
Okay, thank you.
Another idea that the government had that will probably never work. Seeing no other movement, the voting will open. I'll set it for 30 seconds. You may begin. This is on the amendment. Ten seconds. Close the vote. The amendment fails, 54 to 362. We'll go back to the original Article 7 as printed in the warrant. Is there any more discussion on Article 7? Seeing no movement, yes, ma'am. You need to come to a microphone or request a remote. Sorry. I can hear you just fine, but the people in the balcony can't. Ned, identify yourself and...
Lisa Eilers, Forest Street. I'm not sure if this was a typo or anything, but in the warrant, it says just a majority vote is required. However, it says 2/3 majority.
Yeah, it is a majority vote. That was my error. My copy says it's 2/3, but it is majority, because it would have been a 2/3 vote if it was an original article. This is just cleaning up language, so it's a simple majority. Any other questions, comments? Okay, you want to put Article 7 up? And we'll open the voting, 30 seconds, begin.
Place that vote, that could be the deciding vote. Even every vote counts.
Ten seconds. Close the vote. Passes 335 to 83. 335, 83. Article 8, this is the one you all came for. Everybody get the popcorn. Does anybody want to take a break before we get into this? We just want to charge right into it. It's kind of like what I thought was going to happen.
I want to take a break.
Article 8, the MBTA zoning bylaw. Who's presenting? I am disappointed there's no popcorn. Hey, Mary.
Hello there, Mary Ellen Williams, Chair of the Planning Board. I know it states here that I move that the town approve the article, but I would just like to open it for discussion.
We have to open it, right.
Yeah, open it for discussion, because I also would like the board voted at our...
Right, just move to open the Article 8.
We'll just move to open the article right now for
Need a
discussion.
second?
Second.
Okay. Now we have a second. Now we can discuss Article 8. Did you want to go
Sure.
and begin this, or?
Sure. At our meeting, which was before this meeting, we voted unanimously to indefinitely postpone this article.
Needs to be a motion and a second. So you
Okay.
need to make a motion to indefinitely postpone.
Okay,
Someone
very
needs to
good. So
second.
I will make that motion.
Okay, so the motion is made and seconded to indefinitely postpone the MBTA zoning bylaw. Easy, 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 easy. Do you want to elaborate, or do you want a member of your board to elaborate? or-
No, I will go into detail. This article that was presented to us is not anything that any of us wanted on the planning board. The town planner worked with the Barrett Planning Group, and what they did was propose on that particular lot, of which the map is attached to the warrant, they proposed an open space area. So we went ahead and agreed to that particular property with the understanding that there was going to be a limit of 235 units in open space. Turns out that is not the case. So that is why we are looking to postpone this indefinitely. And it's not what we want. We didn't want 200 units. We didn't want 839 units that they came back with, nor do we want 400 units. We don't want it. It wasn't our position to make that determination for the town. We were just trying to comply with the rules so that everyone in this auditorium here tonight could vote on it. That was our position.
Mr. Moderator?
Mr. Coble.
Thank you. So the planning board has its reasons for indefinite postponement, but there's a more practical reason, and that is that the article references a handout titled MBTA Communities Multifamily Overlay District, article, blah, 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 final. That document does not exist. None of you got that document here tonight, so you have nothing in front of you to vote on. The only article, only motion that would be in order would be to indefinitely postpone, because there's just simply nothing to vote.
Point of order, Mr. Moderator.
Mr. Belbin.
There's a map in the back of this handout we got, okay? And that's the map that we're all going on. We came here because that's the map that was posted 14 days in advance, all right? So therefore, I understand it says, but we have a map, okay? So we have to vote on this, all right, whether we vote yes or no.
Mr. Moderator, through you. Yes, there's a map at the back, but there is no bylaw. So you would be creating a district that has no rules or regulations whatsoever.
So point of order, Mr. Moderator. Who created this? And who went ahead and reviewed this? All right, we all came here to vote on this article for MBTA, okay? So whose head should we put on a platter to say, guess what? You need to be fired because you screwed up. All right? This is wrong. We have a town planner, we have a town council, we have board of selectmen that put this on the warrant, all right? Yes, I stopped myself. But you know what? To reconsider is wrong. We're going to vote on this yes or no, and I think a lot of people out here are going to vote it down.
All right. All right, so this is going to be on hold on one second for me, Dan. This is going to be on, when we get to this vote, it's going to be on, just like the last vote, it's going to be a motion to indefinitely postpone. If this body votes no to indefinitely postpone this, it comes right back up and we deal with Article 8 and you can vote it up or down. If this is what you all came here to do, this is what you can do. Council's advising you we have no bylaw, and they don't believe that they have the correct map in the back. But that being said, you know, finger pointing's not going to help anybody. So you can start the blame game all you want, but this is what is before this body tonight, and none of the blames are going to work and have a result happen tonight other than your vote. So, Mr. Farini.
Yes, Dan Farini, Fosdick Road. I think as a town, we speak tonight, we kill this thing, and we let Boston know that we do not want this in our town.
I don't think your postponing's looking very good there, Mary Ellen. Yes, ma'am.
Denise McFarland, South Meadow Village. If we vote this down, does that mean that it can go anywhere in the town? You said that we wouldn't have a bylaw. So does that mean without any zoning, we can have it anywhere?
Well, before we get into that type of discussion, we need to deal with the indefinitely postponing part. Because if we indefinitely postpone this and that goes through, then we're done talking about this tonight. If it fails, then we bring back the original article where you can ask that very question. But for that question for the indefinitely excuse me. I will explain that to you. Well, that's what I'm doing. If you indefinitely postpone this article, it kills it. Yes. If you do not indefinitely postpone this article, then we go back to the article, and I think that Mr. Belvin is correct. I think the reason that this room is so full tonight is because this is a hot topic. And I think it is one that I think this body wants to put to rest one way or the other. I could be wrong, but that's what my opinion is based on the applause that Mr. Belvin got. So if you want to elaborate on what happens if the original article should fail tonight, then council is here to tell you what the state can then do. Do you want to do that now before we vote on postponing it? Okay. This may very well change your mind on postponement. Go ahead.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Moderator. So, as you know, this is not only a controversial topic here in Carver, it's a controversial topic throughout the eastern part of the state. And most town meetings that have had to address this have felt the very same way that you do. But you do need to know going into this with eyes open. So first of all, I am not here to advocate for this or against it. I am just here to deliver what the facts are and what the consequences might be. So as the law stands right now, the town of Carver is required to have a single zoning district that can accommodate 235 units
This is off topic.
of multifamily
This is off topic.
housing.
It's off topic. You can't discuss.
Bob, I'm not going to have this. This is what this body asked for, was an explanation. I asked council to provide that prior to the postponement vote.
You've stopped me from doing that.
Bob?
Talking about things not pertinent to
Bob?
what the vote is.
I'm not going to recognize you, Bob.
It's okay for them to do it.
I'm done, Bob. I'm done.
Wrong.
I'm sorry it's wrong. This is what they asked for. Please continue.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Moderator. So as the law stands right now, the town is required to enact a zoning bylaw that creates a single district that can accommodate 235 multifamily dwelling units. And it has to be within an area that there can be 15 of those units per acre. And your deadline for doing that is December 31st of this year, 2025. Now, I fully understand that there are the feelings about this, but there may be serious consequences to not complying. So if you pass a bylaw and a map before December 31st, you retain control. You may not think so, but you're getting a level of control in terms of deciding where it's going to go, what it's going to look like, what the size of the buildings are, what the setbacks, et cetera, et cetera. The risk that you're taking is if you do not accept this by December 31st, there is a chance that the state will come in and do this for you, and you will lose any control that you have. Now, this has been litigated through the courts. The highest court in Massachusetts, the SJC, has ruled that the law is constitutional and enforceable by the Attorney General's office. The court also made it very clear that you do not have the option of simply rejecting grant funds and not do this. The court was very clear you cannot make this a fiscal or a financial choice. After that decision, there was further challenge to the law on the basis of it being an unfunded mandate and on the basis of the regulations being arbitrary and capricious and beyond the authority of the state to enact. Those challenges all failed. So where things stand right now is that this is a real deadline. And in the near term, the state will take the grants away. I have worked with towns that have lost grants for not meeting earlier deadlines. But in the longer term, it is likely that the Attorney General's office will treat you the same way they treated Milton, and that is they will bring a lawsuit and they will ask a court to compel you to enact the proper zoning. And if you don't, then the town is in contempt and the court will have various remedies at its disposal. I know people have heard talk of quote-unquote special master. That is something that the Attorney General has asked for but hasn't been ruled on. So we don't know what the ultimate remedy would be from the court yet. But, if you want to retain control and begrudgingly pass this thing in the way that you want it passed, you need to take action before December 31st. Now, it's not action on this particular proposal for the reasons that have been presented, but the planning board would intend to bring this back in a proper form that has the correct number of units, have it reviewed by the state in advance, and bring a proper proposal to you that you will be able to have input on. If you do not do that, I cannot guarantee that you will have any input as to where this goes or what it looks like.
So just to be clear, when are you thinking that this is going to come back before this body before December 31st? Are you suggesting another special town meeting?
I'm not suggesting anything, but my understanding is that the planning board intends to bring this back before December 31st. That's the deadline right now. We haven't discussed with the state whether or not an extension is possible, but, again, I will defer to the planning board on what they want to do going forward, but I've given the consequences of what might happen if you don't go forward by that deadline.
Mr. Moderator?
Mr. Townsend.
Just so the body knows, I want everyone to know some of the actions that the Select Board took regarding this law, because the Select Board, I don't speak for everybody, but I certainly will speak for myself, that I abhor this law. I think it's a terrible idea. I hate the idea of the state forcing things on cities and towns. This board did work through Mr. Corbo to pursue legal challenges, but as Mr. Corbo has said, those were found to have no standing. So we really had no choice. But the only thing we did was just put this article on the warrant. We have not voted in favor of this, and that's it. All we did was put it on the warrant so that the town meeting could decide how they wanted to pursue.
Donna.
Mr. Moderator, I have one quick question. First of all,
Start timing these.
when we vote in a few minutes, are we voting for this article or against the article?
No, right now, all that is before us is to indefinitely postpone.
Okay.
If we vote yes, then this article is dead. If we vote no, then the article comes back, the motion to indefinitely postpone fails, and then we bring up Article 8 for discussion and another vote to either support it as it's written, as poorly as it's written, or kill it.
Okay.
That's what's on the table. So right now, this entire discussion, we kind of got way off of the indefinite postponement. So, but this body wanted to know the ramifications, and that's the reason why I let council weigh in on it. You were right, Bob. It was off topic, but the body wanted to know the ramifications.
So if we vote yes,
If you vote yes to indefinitely postpone it, it shuts it down for tonight.
right, but if we
does
vote
not
no, we're
kill
going to
it.
vote again and we'll have another
Yeah, it could come back up in a special town meeting Christmas Eve if you guys aren't busy.
I don't support this at all.
If they vote yes, is what she's asking.
Mr. Moderator, through you?
Yes.
Okay, this is a motion to indefinitely postpone. So what that means is that if you vote in favor of this, it means that you don't want to discuss the substance of the article, and you just want it to go away for this town meeting. If you vote no on this, then the main article remains alive at this meeting, and you get to talk about it, vote on it, amend it if you want. So a yes vote makes it go away. A no vote keeps it here.
It's the Twilight Zone. I think I just said all of that, Counsel. Maybe not. Ben?
Ben Dexter, 149 High Street. I think after listening to town council especially, but even before that, it's clear that what we have here in front of us is not ready for prime time. It's not. It needs to be thought through some more. We need additional details. I don't want to come back a third night this year, trust me. I would really like to vote on something substantive tonight, but unfortunately we don't have that in front of us. So the prudent measure, the good measure, would be to indefinitely postpone and come back to it at a later date. Thank you.
Okay. Rich?
Richard Goulart, 134 South Meadow Road. Through you, Mr. Moderator, to council. Effectively, if we vote to postpone and it doesn't come back before December 31st, isn't that without an extension from the state?
You're
That's
still
the equivalent of no vote.
Right, you wouldn't be in compliance January
Right.
1st. So so you're right, if the planning board can't get it together to get it back before the end of the year, and we take no action on it, and we go into January, then technically we have become non-compliant.
Right, well, you know how much we want to do another night. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dan Forand, I just want to point out, when Mr. Corbo was speaking, he made a statement, something to the extent of he has no idea, or it's possible, I think it was, that the state could come in anyway and basically cram it down our throats. I'd like to hear from our two state representatives that when he made that statement, they were both adamantly shaking their head in disagreement. Do you guys have something different to say than what Mr. Corbo said about the state coming in and ramming it down our throats anyway?
I was going to get to both of them, but I wanted everybody else to have a shot. Kelly, you want to go ahead and take it on? Senator Dooner.
I will do my best. So I'll speak for myself and Rep. Gasky. We have not received any knowledge of the state coming in and mandating. Of course, if there's a lawsuit, that's a different story. But as far as if you're voting it down, we have not been informed to our knowledge that the state will come in and mandate the zoning themselves.
Go ahead.
I'm Thomas Putney of 204 Tremont Street. I have a question about the map. And
Well, we're on is that going to be pertinent to whether we postpone this or not, or is that going to wait till we find out what that result is?
I was just going to ask.
Because we seem to be going back to the original motion, and I'm trying to deal with the indefinite postponement.
I was going to ask about the area. If the area is still there and it is turned into something other than an open space, is it still considered usable? If it becomes an apple orchard, it's still considered usable space? I just thought of that randomly.
I'll ask that to council. Would you ask that again, please?
If the open space on the map, which I believe is what is considered to be where the buildings are going, if I understand that correctly, if that was turned from open space into farmland, such as apple orchards or something along those lines, would it still be considered open space?
Well, this creates an overlay district, right?
Through you, Mr. Moderator, I mean, I don't see anything on this that says open space.
Well, there's the green square that says open space.
The green.
Green down at the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can't say now what, if anything, that could be used for. The state has definitions of what they consider open space, and typically it means that it's kept in its natural state. Whether they would consider farming that an acceptable use of open space, I can't say.
But the way this is printed, is that green even in this area? Looks like it's out of the boundary.
I believe it is outside.
It's outside the boundary, so I don't believe there's any open space in the original, because the green, in my map, the green is probably wetlands, but it says open space, but it looks like it's outside of the parcel. So it looks like the parcel has no designated open space. Am I incorrect?
I mean, I can't see the parcel boundaries on this one. It doesn't look like it's in there.
I believe you are correct, Mr. Moderator.
Looks like they go right down. See, this is it right here, this faded line, you can't really read. Yes, ma'am.
Courier 16 Gate Street. So the postponement, under my understanding, is being requested because the map attached, while it was the intent to only build the minimum amount, will allow for a much greater amount, and we didn't want to open ourselves up to that. And because of the 14-day warrant rule, even though Planning Board was meeting afterwards and trying to get different lots approved through the consulting department team, we couldn't bring that into play because of the 14-day rule. So the postponement, I think, in my opinion, is the best way to go. I also want to make sure that everyone understands that if you vote no tonight, that does not make this go away. A no vote makes it go to the state, and does the state agree that we should vote no? Most likely, from past experiences in other towns, they're not going to just say, oh yes, Carver, you're special. I all know we are special, but that's besides the point. They're going to say, you're going to have to defend, we are going to sue you for what we think is right, you're going to defend it. That's what a no vote means. So if they sue and we defend and we don't win, which no other town has won, and believe me, I hope we're special and we win, but if we don't win, then they're going to come back. They may very likely say, hey, you originally put this on the warrant as the map you were going to rezone. Let's go with the map that you were going to go, which right now none of us want to go with because it offers way too many homes. Or they could potentially, and there is not a clear answer in my opinion, and we've heard controversial different opinions here tonight of whether they win. Does it come back to the planning board and we get to another bite at the apple and pick a plan? Or does the state or the judge pick that rezone area for us? I think it's much better that we have a parcel of land that we can all live with that can only develop that 235 and not some larger amount. So I strongly urge everybody to postpone. Thank you.
Mr. Moderator, can I respond to that?
Sure.
Thank you. Through you, Mr.
One
Moderator.
second.
I just want to make something more clear with respect to Senator Dooner, and she can qualify it if she likes, but my understanding of what she said was that the state legislature does not have anything pending to compel the town through a statute or regulation, but the state can still bring a lawsuit against the town, and through that lawsuit can compel the town to comply, and if it doesn't, possibly compel the town to or accept whatever the Attorney General's office or judge decides. And so what we're saying is not inconsistent. It's just two different ways of the state going about this.
Thank you, counsel. But if we are found in contempt, who goes to jail? Do we lock up the select board, the planning department, the town planner, Bob? All of us?
All of us.
All of us? Kim?
Kim Shea, Plymouth Street. So I am 100,000,000% against this MBTA Communities Act, by far. However, I'm not understanding the do or die moment right now. Our planning board has discovered an error in how they're planning to control this best they can. They want the opportunity to go back to the drawing board, make sure that there is open space conservation, that they're limiting any potential units to that spot and to a specific area on that large parcel. And I say that we owe it to them to do that. Do we have to be here on Christmas Eve? No, absolutely we do not. We may not be in compliance on January 1st, But it will show the state that we are making a good effort to comply with this law, and as an adjacent small town, we have big challenges, bigger challenges than Plymouth, Halifax, and other communities that are against this as well. I don't know if Plymouth is, but you get my point. My point is, give them the opportunity to bring something back, even if it's at our annual town meeting in April, because I don't think the state's going to be beating down the door of Carver to sue us if we're trying to do something. And then, at annual town meeting, if everybody here wants to vote it down, go for it. But give us a chance. Give them a chance to do what's right for this town. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Can I just ask a question from the people that are standing at the mic? Are we at a point where we can try to vote on the postponement, or do we want to continue the discussion? Because we haven't gotten to the article yet. We're still dealing with, should we kick this can down the road? Should we postpone this? Did you want to speak on postponing it?
No, I want to ask questions before I decide how I'm going to vote.
Okay, then please, come ahead and do it.
Thank you. Because I don't hear very well, but my understanding is that Mr. Corbo stated that the state is going to require Carver to build 250 units. Is that correct? Did I hear that right?
Technically, it's...
Through you, Mr. Moderator. So, yes, right now,
Okay, all right.
the law, it's not 250, it's 235, but yes, that is what is in the law right
So
now.
at some point, Carver needs to invest, are we investing our own money, or are we getting grants from the state to help us out with this?
Well, so what this law requires is that you enact zoning. It does not require that you build anything. So if somebody wants to build in that space, if the zoning passes, that's on their money, not the town's money.
Okay,
All the town is doing is saying it can be built by someone else there.
All right, so they being a developer.
Right.
Who's going to pay to have it built, and it's not going to take money out of our pocket.
Oh, but what'll happen is when it's developed and the people are living in it, any of the resulting costs coming back to the town, we're on our own, like every other town that's adopted this. So if suddenly we have another 600 kids, the state...
Right, okay. Oh, that's
Nothing.
another question.
Public safety, nothing. So, I'm shocked that they really found it an unfunded mandate. But
Okay.
that's what
So
they voted on.
that was my question. So after the developer develops its
Yeah,
property,
we're on our own.
we're, all right, so we have to pay for any plumbing issues, electrical issues?
Well, no, the owner of the property would. We have to pay for the resulting
The
traffic
rental-
and
the
schools.
people renting would be responsible for all
Yeah,
that?
whoever owns the property. And of course, they would be paying real estate taxes on it, but anyone that looks at the taxes know that taxes with kids is usually a tax negative.
Okay, so basically, if we had a lot of families in there, we would need to maybe raise taxes to build more school systems? Okay, thank you. That's
It's always the great unknown, but yeah.
that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Bob?
Helen hasn't had a chance, so.
Helen?
Is there anybody looking?
Hi, I'm Helen Maroney from...
This is on the postponement?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I do not think we should postpone it, and I have to say, I think we need to fight. And the reason I say that is every town that has said no, yeah, they're going through some pains right now. However, in April of 2025, Maura Healey has already reneged on taking away safety grants. So it's the pressure that the towns that have the courage to fight this, and Planning Board, thank you for everything you're doing, but I just believe we need to speak up now. And if we have to come for another vote when it goes to 835 units, it's been going back and forth, if anybody knows, because of, I wish we could find out what caused this debacle tonight to begin with. But it went from 235 units to 835 units, down to 435 units. Now, all of a sudden, tonight, it's at 235 units. So I think we need to say no to support all those other towns that have taken the courage to say no. And then...
So I just want to make it clear. They were asking to postpone it. Are you postponing it to bring it back to us before December? Because that's very important, because if you are, if you are going to do that, then it's even better for us to say no. All right, let us vote on the whole article, vote it down. It gives you a direction that says, hey, we don't want this, so it gives us more power here instead of power over there.
Excuse me, Mr. Moderator. I would just like to confirm something. Attorney Corbo said that we would have to vote prior to December 31st. I understand that is the date the state has set forth, but we have not determined that or voted on that at a meeting. This is an indefinite postponement, but there is no targeted meeting date. So I just want
There's
information.
no continuance date.
Right.
So there's no guarantee it's going to come back before the end of the year. And January 1st, technically, we would be non-compliant. And if it came up in April, then, you know, the state give us a spanking or whatever it is they're going to do. But, you know, I mean, can it be done away with tonight? That's up to this body.
Sorry, Denise McFarland.
I think, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Sorry. South Meadow Village. So you had mentioned that we had to have this postponed or have an answer by the 31st. My issue is we have a consultant company that was hired by our paid town planner, and they didn't do what our planning committee asked them to do. So why wouldn't we be able to file an extension because our consultants made a mistake? Why should we be held to any kind of lawsuit when they didn't do what our committee asked them to do? The height is wrong. It's too high for the apparatuses we have now. The units are too much. It's not the correct map. So I'm concerned that we hired a consultant company that's not listening.
Thank you. So indefinite looks like it doesn't mean indefinite. It only means for tonight. And who cares if there's an error on the planning? I say we vote it down anyway because it's going to get voted down. I say we don't be in compliance, and we just we keep hearing that there may be consequences, a chance that there's going to be consequences. Nobody tells us what these consequences are. This is the only language I've been hearing the whole time is maybe, and I say we cross that bridge if it comes, and I say we simply do not be in compliance. That's it.
This is on the amendment, right? Okay.
No,
Welch,
it's on the
Pillow Mullins Way.
postponement.
Is there a way to amend it where it has to be revisited by the end of the year?
Not really, because it requires resources to have another special town meeting. That needs to be approved by the select board. We can't just demand another special town meeting without it going through. There's a significant cost in having a town meeting. The town clerk would be happy to tell you what that number is.
Point of order, Mr. Moderator. The people can actually vote in favor of having a special town meeting by going a petition vote to have it. So
Right, you need I believe it's 200 signatures. Am I correct, Carl? Yeah. 200 signatures would force a special town meeting, and then the cost would be borne by that. But we are October 7th, so to consider a special town meeting sometime in December, where, do you honestly, everybody here in this room think you're going to show up in December?
No.
Seriously?
Well, I guess the only other thing I want to say,
All right, settle down.
I guess the only other thing I want to say is, I know a lot of you people are screaming, no, we want to vote tonight. And I do think that some of us have done a ton of research, looking at other towns, looking at what's happened, looking at lawsuits. I don't feel that Carver can really afford a lawsuit right now if the state does put one on us. I'm not necessarily willing to gamble all that when the planning board has put so much time and effort into trying to find us the right space that's going to make this the least painful. And if we can give them that time, try and make it the least painful on our town, because nobody here wants this. Nobody. I don't think anybody here wants this. And if they're trying to make it the least painful, I appreciate the work they're doing, and I think we should let them do that and postpone.
Connor's had a chance, so I'm going to listen to the gentleman here, Connie Shea, and that's it. We're going to call this question. Otherwise, we'll be here tomorrow. Sir.
Evan Sullivan, 138 High
Oh, and
Street.
Jim Hoffman, I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
I have a question. If this goes through and they put in the 340 houses that they were talking about, are they going to be covered to add on another room to bring in another family?
Well, they're not individual house lots. This is cluster housing. This is apartment buildings, so they wouldn't be adding on an ADU.
You sure?
This is, yeah, this is, this is a multifamily, complex. So it's not individual house lots, which is what the ADU law says.
All right.
Okay. Connie?
Good evening, Connie Shea, Plymouth Street, Carver, Mass. So the question is, does it matter if we're out of compliance tonight or December 31st? Does this matter? If this comes back to us, yes, it does. This will allow for more than 800 dwelling units on this property, as it is, if it comes back to us. I don't believe that the state can regulate our zoning, so I do not believe that it can come back to us in that way. But does it matter if we turn it down tonight or turn it down December 31st? Give the planning board a chance to sort it out. We've had all sorts of problems. The planning board has made it very, very clear how we stand on this, and we stand with you. This is our community too. But what you're looking at here is no laws, the wild, wild west, and 800 plus units on this property. Give the board a chance to tone this down for you. If you want to say no, you can always say no in April. In April, because I don't see us holding a special town meeting. We're not going to be in compliance one way or the other on December 31st. It's cost prohibitive, it's problematic, and getting people out at Christmas. Nobody wants to be here at Christmas time. Give the planning board a chance to come up with something real that can be presented, and then turn it down. The state's not going to come after us in 3 months, and no judge will let the state come after us in 3 months. We'll make a good faith effort. We'll put it in front of you and shoot it the hell down, and come April, that's the way to go. You're asking for trouble. You're asking.
Come on, be respectful. Be respectful.
I worked harder on this
Connie?
than anybody in here. On anybody
Excuse me.
to protect this town. Give us a chance. We've been sabotaged, we've been stabbed in the back, and we work like hell for this town.
Mr. Hoffman, I'm not going to recognize you. I said no. I said that was it. Mr. Hoffman.
Jim Hoffman, Great Meadow Drive. I just have a question. If we vote not to postpone indefinitely, we take a vote, the vote gets shot down, can the planning board still come back with another proposal for this? Or once we say
Not tonight.
No, I'm not saying tonight. Can they still come back
Well,
with
they
another
could come to the
proposal?
select board and try to solicit, we got a plan. Well, it depends on how the vote goes on the article, because if we vote no to indefinitely postpone it, then that's dead.
Correct.
Now we deal with the article.
Right, but it's, so we say we get to that article.
And they vote?
They vote no.
No.
So that means that article does not pass.
And it's dead for tonight.
Correct. Can then the planning board come back with another?
Well, they could try a Plan B.
And the only reason I'm bringing this up was, what's the difference between that and postponing indefinitely? Now, I understand everybody is against it, but the plan that they're presenting, they're telling us isn't the one they really want. If we postpone it, they'll bring back another plan that they endorse. If we don't agree with it, we vote it down then. So I just don't know the difference between postponing indefinitely this, or if we do that, they come back with another article. If we say no, they can still come back with another plan or article at the April meeting. Just want everyone to understand that. So you think it's going to be dead, it might not be dead. It might come back again at the next meeting. Is that accurate? I just want to make sure.
It can.
Through the planning board or through?
the town planner, is that accurate?
Yeah, we vote to kill it tonight. They can certainly bring it back. You could bring it back in April. I mean, we'd be non-compliant, but Donna, I really want to get this vote for indefinitely postponing it. So, on the indefinitely I'm going to call the question right now. Indefinitely postponing Article 8. Open the vote. You have 30 seconds. A yes vote means it will be indefinitely postponed. A no vote means that it fails, and we go back to the original article, which you can then deal with tonight. Begin. I say that right, Council? Isn't this fun? Close the vote. 181 yes, 240 no. So we do not indefinitely postpone it. The Article 8 is still on the floor. Now, on the original article, Donna?
Good evening, everybody. So I've been following this from day one, and I've met with the town planner 2 or 3 times, and it's disgraceful that we're here like this tonight. The planning board voted this down a year ago. They have not found a plan that the town planner has brought before them that is acceptable. Every one of these planning board members have worked their butt off to try to come before you tonight to bring an article for you to vote for. I ask you, all of you, please do not let this go through. I ask you to please vote no. And one of the reasons why, after a high-rise apartment building is built in our town, you are going to be paying for school teachers over $6 million for teacher salary. If they were to do 1 teacher for 15 students, that salary is about $90,000. It'll come to a high amount of teachers that they need to hire. They're going to have to possibly build a new school, and we do have the school committee here, and they can speak to that. We have our fire department here, we have our police department, and they all have serviced our community to the best that we could ever imagine in this town. I ask you, every one of you, to vote no and kill this until December 31st. If the planning board wants to come back to you with the proper plans, and not working with this town planner, that's another story. But I ask you, all of you, to please vote no. This is not what my parents lived for this town. Thank you.
I want it to be noted that I did not put time limits on anyone speaking tonight, so everybody has run over their 3-minute times, and I think it's a hot topic, and I think it deserves to be discussed. And that's why I did it that way. Sir.
Mr. Moderator.
I'm right with you, Kelly.
Hale from Main Street. I move the question. It's been discussed completely at this point.
I'm going to let Kelly speak. I'm going to let Kelly speak as a senator, and then we are going to move the question. She was standing up before you made that statement. Go ahead, Kelly. Sorry.
Thank you. First off, I want to thank the planning board. I know your role is not easy as a former planning board member, and I just wanted to thank everyone here for allowing me, a Taunton resident, not a Carver resident, to speak. I actually gave my maiden speech in opposition of 3A, pushing back on it. I think it's an unfunded mandate. Nobody on Beacon Hill seemed to care about the smaller communities, the infrastructure challenges that we would face. It's something that I personally have proposed legislation in opposition of. I'm not here to influence your vote one way or another, whatever way you decide to vote tonight. I just want to give you the guarantee and my promise that I will continue fighting for you up on Beacon Hill to be your... So as a new senator here, the first new senator for this district in 32 years, I just wanted you guys to know that whichever direction you go, I will have your back on Beacon Hill. I'm not going to promise anything, but I can promise that I will fight for you, and I will be your voice on Beacon Hill, and I can assure Rep. Gasky is going to be there right with me. So thank you.
We have a request to call the question. I assume everybody's prepared for this. On Article 8, it's a straight up or down vote. It's a majority vote, even though it's a zoning bylaw, because the state, does whatever they want. So instead of it being 2/3, it's a majority vote. And I will open the voting starting now. I'll give you 30 seconds. Begin your vote. Really?
Article.
We're voting on Article 8, the MBTA Communities Act. Either it's a yes or a no vote. It's entirely up to this body at this point. No vote means we said no to the state. A yes vote means we embrace the law. A no vote means a no vote. Well, whatever it defaults to, a no vote to the law. Oh my God. There you go. A yes vote means we break the law, that's right. Cancel, stop the vote. Time's up. I have to tell you, I'm shocked by this number. Shocked! 26 to 394, Article 8 fails. Everybody have a nice night. There's more articles, There's more fun to come. We're not really done yet. What was that number again?
Before everybody runs out, I'd like to make a motion to reconsider the article.
Second.
Second.
Once you all leave, somebody else 30 minutes from now can make a motion to reconsider and vote it the other way. So trust me, this is procedural.
He is absolutely correct. Everybody that's leaving, are you listening to what's being said? If there is a motion to reconsider this and it passes, all your voting that you're leaving the room for now goes down the toilet.
Do I have a second to my motion?
Second.
Can we start the vote?
Those that are going to vote on this reconsideration motion needs to retake a seat. You can run out if you want, but if this gets reconsidered and the reconsideration passes, then Article 8 comes right back up on the floor. And those of you that voted no, that don't matter no more. This is the perils of leaving a town meeting early. Do we have a second on that?
Yeah, we have lots of them.
I'm waiting for those that are still standing. Are you going to take part in the vote? If you are, you need to sit. I can't have the pandemonium. Sorry if it's a lot to ask, but you came all this way tonight to make your voices heard. I'm assuming everyone that's leaving has voted no for the overwhelming number that we got. There is a motion and a second to reconsider Article 8. A yes vote will bring it back up for discussion. A no vote will kill it dead for tonight. It can't come back. I'm not going to discuss this. I'm going to open the vote. You have 30 seconds. A yes vote brings it back. A no vote kills it dead for tonight. Ten seconds. Close the vote. Reconsideration fails, 28 to 338.
Someone just has to call the quorum. As long as
I'm going to let them walk out. We'll let those that are leaving leave. We'll take a couple-minute recess. Let's get this show back on the road. Hold on. Hold on. You get it quieted back down and get people back with it. There's nothing on the table. What can I do for you, dear?
A huge mistake, and I forgot to comment on our emergency services for the town. So we
Thank
have
you.
a great emergency services.
Donna, thank you.
But I also wanted to say.
Donna, thank you. May we continue? Sure you don't want to start all over? Okay. Article 9, a non-binding referendum to sell the Carver, Marion, Wareham Regional Refuse Disposal District. Try to say that fast 4 times. Who's bringing this up?
I move that the town approve Article 9 as written in the warrant.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion on the article?
Through you, Mr. Moderator, could I give right now
Mr. Carter.
The chairman of the district, could I give a little bit of a summary of what we're looking for here? It might answer a lot of questions that might come up.
Take all the time you need.
Okay. So many of you may not be aware of this, but the district's been around for quite a long time. I think it was first put into place in 1973. It serviced the trash and recycling needs of the towns of Wareham, Carver, and Marion. Back in 2019, with the South Carver landfill closing, the ability to get rid of our trash cheaply went away, and the district actually looked at dissolving. Right now, the members pulled out. The town of Marion pulled out of the district. We were looking at one particular point in time closing it. In late 2020, I think the town of Wareham came to the district and said, hey, we would like to take this, the district and run it ourselves. And what we'll do is we'll provide Carver residents that want to use it the ability to use the district at a pay-as-you-go fee. I think right now it's $140, like a 12% markup from what Wareham pays. So it's been going like that. It went like that from like 20 to 22, and then a new agreement was created that ends at the end of 2025. It has an automatic renewal for 1 year. At that particular point in time, a new agreement would have to be negotiated. The reason why this was brought to your attention is the current members, myself, Mark Townsend, Glenn Cannon, and we also have the District Commissioner Jeffrey Osich here to answer any questions. While this is a non-binding article, the commissioners themselves have the ability to vote on their own. But we brought it to you to be more transparent, to get your thoughts and ideas, and quite frankly, if this body votes not to sell the district, my feeling is the members are going to vote the same way. So right now, the way this stands is the district has 2 main assets. One is cash and one is land. It has about $1 million in cash. The assessed land value is about $753,000, so roughly $1.7 million round numbers. Now, when this district was created, there was a dissolution paragraph that simply stated that the money will disperse, if this ever ends, to each town based on the previous 5 years equalized tax valuation. So consequently, that comes up to be about 28% of whatever the assets are the town would receive. Roughly that These numbers are based on July, but roughly if these numbers hold, it's close to $500,000 that the town would receive. Now, if you were to vote no on this, really nothing changes for the people that are using it. The current contract ends, as I said, in 12/31/25. It will extend to 12/31/26 if Wareham so chooses. The rate is pretty much the same, a 12% markup on what Wareham pays. We will be exposed to a certain level of liability. If there's a spill at the transfer station, all towns are responsible for cleaning it up. That could be a cost to the town versus the users that use it. The landfill itself in South Carver that's closed also has liability, but there are many insurance policies on top of that would limit the town's liability if there was ever a contamination at the South Carver landfill. Let's see. If the members of the board change, right now these current members' main focus was to keep it running the way it is and to provide a low-cost service to the residents. If the board changes and members decide that they want to go in and, I don't know, do significant capital changes, expand it, offer new services, there could be capital commitments, there could be assessments that all the taxpayers pay. If that was to ever occur. Again, I don't know if that would happen, but that's a possibility. If you vote yes on this, then the town receives, as I said, close to $500,000. We have no exposure of liability on the transfer station because we don't own it any longer. We do, as I said, have liability in the landfill, but that's protected by insurance, layers of insurance policies. The Carver residents will be provided the same consistent markup of 12% of what Wareham pays for 15 years, and with an automatic renewal for 5. So you get 20 years worth of the same service you're receiving now, and you get proceeds of $500,000, and you lose the liability that you would have if we continue in the road we're going. So when we negotiated with Wareham, they came to us and said, because they're investing all this money in the transfer station, and they are the biggest users, we have approximately 300, they have 3,000. They would like to buy it, run it, offer the services to Carver, and in 20 years, they may still offer the services to Carver. I don't know what their long-term strategy is. But when we talked about this, they offered us a 10-year term with a 15% markup on Wareham's rate to Carver residents. They valued the land at the assessed value, and they wanted to be able to give us 60 days' notice if they wanted to end the contract. We countered with a 20-year term. We said we wanted a 10% markup versus 15. We wanted a value above the assessed value. We tried to get as much as we could. We wanted 180 days' notice in case they were ever to terminate the district. So the final agreement that we're looking at right now, they've agreed to in principle, and it's going before their town meeting at the end of the month. It's a 20-year term, so 15-year contract with a 5-year automatic renewal at Carver's discretion. The markup stays at 12%, no change. We agreed that the assessed value made sense as part of the assets that would be allocated. And we agreed on the 60 days, but only if Wareham decided they were going to close the district totally. And that's pretty much where it stands right now. So I just wanted you to have that information. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. Mr. Belbin.
Robert Belvin, 26 Street. So as a former chairman of the Waste District, when I was a selectman, Jeff, always doing a great job, so thank you very much. So I have questions, though. On this article here, it says we're going to sell the district, but under that, it says landfill property. We're not selling the landfill property, we're selling the transfer station. So I think that needs to be changed from landfill property to transfer station property.
You offering that as an amendment, Bob, or what's your point?
I think it should be them, because they wrote this up. It's
a non-binding referendum, so.
I understand that, but I'm just saying here is that if it's not, we're not selling the landfill. We're going to sell a transfer station. So I'm hoping the select board will make that move.
Ryan says the landfill property located off Cranberry Highway in the town of Rochester. There is no landfill in the town of Rochester.
There isn't. It's a transfer station.
Exactly. So
that's what I'm saying here.
I guess there's no landfill there, so we don't have to confuse it with there being a landfill in Cranberry Highway. Because there isn't a landfill.
Well, that's not what we're doing. You're asking us to sell a landfill.
Are you saying this is a typo? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying somebody screwed up and it shouldn't be landfill, it should be transfer station.
Okay, great. Make the amendment.
All right, that's my first one.
Oh, boy.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much. I did send emails to the select board about this, like extending it for 20 years. That's awesome, because I use it. Wareham's done a great job. I'm not against it. I actually would rather see them get a lesser amount and pay out for it, the property, because there's like 70% they're not going to have to pay for, because it's just going back in their pocket. So they'll be paying us the 28%, whatever. So that's that. Next one is, who's going to oversee the landfill itself? Does that fall on Carver? That's my question first here to the select board, or Jeff, town administrator, somebody.
Well, through you, Mr. Moderator, what we've got here is, these are the concepts of the agreement. There will be a final documented agreement. If Wareham's taking over the district, they will take over all responsibilities. The only thing we will be on the hook for, as I said before, as the original town setting up the district, are in case there's, God forbid, an environmental issue at the landfill. That never goes away, but insurance policies are in place to cover it.
So is this coming back to April town meeting? Or
No,
this
right
just
now,
telling you guys to go ahead and start the nuts and bolts process?
This will be something that the three members vote on at a future meeting with the members of Wareham.
Okay, so is Wareham going to oversee the landfill? Who's going to be making those
Jeff,
payments?
This is Jeff Osich, the district commissioner.
We also voted to allow him to speak earlier tonight.
The landfill, first of all, you don't own the landfill. The physical land is owned by A.D. McPeace under the name of Wenkiko. The landfill, as Mr. Carter indicated earlier, there is a $10 million insurance liability policy that is actually going to have to be renewed at the end of 25 for an additional 10 years. There is money set aside to pay the premium. We're in the process right now of trying to find an insurance company because the company Zurich that had the prior 10 years that ends in December of this year is no longer writing that kind of a policy. So that covers the town for 3 towns. And Marion, even though they dropped out of the district, is still liable if there is an issue at the landfill in the future that's not covered under the insurance policy. So, and the insurance policy, I should say, if there is an incident, the incident has a $100,000 deductible. That's covered by the money that's currently sitting in a bank account in U.S. Bank, which has in excess of approximately $1.2 million in that bank account right now that will help pay the premiums and any liabilities that may occur. If it exceeds that amount, then all 3 towns are liable for the Carver landfill, no matter who is there. CMAS is the responsible party. They were the ones dumping the trash for the last 30-some-odd years. They're responsible to pay all the expenses as it exists, even though it's a closed landfill at the present time, the monitoring, the engineering costs, anything required by DEP. And ultimately, if there's a spill issue, most likely it'll be covered by CMAS or Covanta or whoever that company is. The insurance policy only takes effect if for some reason CMAS Covanta folds and there's no insurance from them, which they have a policy that's, I think, company-wide is somewhere around, I've heard as high as $5 or $6 billion because they own multiple plants across the country.
And isn't the landfill, it's lined landfill too?
Well, that landfill is a 95-acre facility that's been operated prior to CMAS coming into existence. So there are portions that are not lined. The more recent cells that were developed are lined. So, but the real old sections of that landfill are not lined. The more recent use, which ended at the end of 2020, are lined and capped, and currently are in compliance. And there's been no appreciable migration of anything out of that landfill into the surrounding area.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay. That's it? Article 9, we will take to a vote. We'll open the voting now. You have 30 seconds. Begin your vote. 10 seconds. Close the vote. To 11 to 37, the motion passes. On Article 10,
Mr. Moderator, I move we vote to approve Article 10 as printed in the warrant.
Second.
motion made and seconded for Article 10, a non-binding referendum to dissolve the Carver, Marion, Wareham Regional Refuse Disposal District Committee. Say that 3 times. Mr. Carter.
Sure. Through you, Mr. Moderator, this is just a process that in order to sell the property to Wareham, the district has to be dissolved. Again, it was created as its own separate entity as a special act many, many years ago. It has to go to the state. It could take, pick a number, 6 months to a year for them to complete it, which means the 20-year agreement would start a year from now, so in theory, we've got 21 years. But that's what this article is geared towards.
Thank you. Select Board voted 5-0 on this. Nobody else? Perfect. Article 10. Open the vote. 30 seconds. Sorry, I took my coat off. It's hot in here. 10 seconds. Close the vote. 228 yes, 21 no. Motion passes. On to the petition articles. Article 11 is a petition article. To the microphone, please.
Jean-Pierre Dansero, 20 Shoestring Road. I move that the town approve the Article 11 as printed on the special town meeting warrant.
Motion made and seconded. This is a 2/3 vote that's required.
May I object?
And yes, ma'am, this is, I'm not sure that we approved her.
I think I was approved. They told me. Minnie Patel?
Yeah, I don't think we included you. I think that gets done at the time you're going to speak with the petition article.
I came earlier today and they said I was approved to speak. They told me to sit here because that's where I was supposed to sit if I
Yeah, but you were not included in the list. So I will take a motion to allow Minnie Patel from Dave's Liquors to speak on this, and I'll just do this with a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So now you may speak.
Mr. Moderator,
Yes, sir.
may I have our counsel speak to the petition real quick before she addresses the...
That is also, the council has not been approved either, so will this body permit Mr.
Peter Friedman?
Peter Friedman to speak? He's the attorney for Jellystone Park. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I think the ayes have it, so yes. But she was up before you, so if you want to acquiesce to let the attorney speak before you, I'll go along with that. But you did stand up before he did.
They can
So-
speak before me. It's okay. I'll speak after.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and thank you, Madam. Again, for the record, Peter Freeman. I'm an attorney in Barnstable, and I'll be brief. The rationale that we submitted, I don't know if you've seen it, but I'll just basically summarize it. The change that we're proposing here would change the area of Jellystone Park to general business use. It would change the area where the property is located to be in the general business district under Section 2230, the use table, and would allow by special permit, which is important from the Zoning Board of Appeals, for the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages at Jellystone Park. Likewise, including the land in the planned tourist commercial district is also relevant because, of course, Jellystone Park is a campground, brings a lot of tourists, and all of the snowball effects of improving their business helps to improve the town. So I'll turn it over to JP in a second, up to the moderator whether he continues or the woman, which I appreciate.
Vinnie Patel.
But in any sense, I also want to emphasize that the adoption of the amendment will simply change the zoning map to designate the above parcels as being within the general business district and the planned tourist commercial district. There's no changes to the actual bylaw substance. Thank you.
I'm going to hold you off, JP. It's Minnie's turn.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Hi, everybody. My name is Minnie Patel, and I reside at Dave's Liquors. I am here to object to 20 Shoestring Road's Jellystone Park's proposal to changing their zone from residential agricultural to general business. And this major corporation may argue that this is for economic development, for tourism, but I would like to say that Carver has 8 major types of zoning districts. And according to Carver's master plan, 85% of Carver is zoned as residential agricultural, as you'll know. Shoestring Road is part of that 85%. The Carver Economic Development Plan has already classified 4 priority development areas, which are essentially areas within the town that are capable of handling more development due to their available infrastructure. And these areas have been prioritized as hubs for economic development for the town. And these also protect nearby neighborhoods from potential negative impacts from commercial zoning. Shoestring Road is not one of these classified areas. Carver's land use goal 3.1, stated in Carver's master plan, explicitly states that land use policies should protect Carver's small town rural character by encouraging growth in preferred locations. Allowing a business rezoning at Shoestring Road would directly contradict Carver's plan's vision and undermine the rural integrity that residents have repeatedly said they value most about Carver. Shoestring Road and the campground already draw in a lot of visitors and contribute to local tourism. So rezoning to general business would not only be redundant, but add little public value. Allowing an unnecessary zoning change will ultimately just set a precedent for future conflicts that will both conflict with the master plan's priorities and current zoning balance. Zoning is how a community's main public statement about where certain activities can take place and how much of the activity should be allowed. So the question we all really should ask is who really benefits from this zoning change? If this campground is already for public use, how does commercial zoning really serve the public? And rezoning is really just a private benefit that will only be reaped by this massive corporation. As you know, I think Jellystone Park already charges a pretty hefty price just to enter for the day. And I think just allowing this rezoning that will lead to ultimately an alcohol license and a liquor license. This is a family campground. I think everyone would know adding liquor to this mix that's surrounded by neighborhoods would probably not end up in the best scenario. And I just want to ask if this rezoning will lead to a domino effect of future zoning changes that will effectively damage Carver's rural roots. Thank you.
JP, I'm going to give you the last word on this, if you don't mind. I'm going to give you the last word, if you don't mind. I want to let...
Yes, sir.
And then you can have the last word before we vote.
Thank you very much.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege not only to...
JP, maybe I didn't make myself clear.
Sorry, sir.
I said I was going to give you the last word, so I'm going to let them speak, and then you can have it before we vote. That way they'll have whatever you say fresh in their mind.
Thank you.
Mary Ellen?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I just want to let everyone know that this gentleman came in front of the planning board and he proposed this article to us. We all voted unfavorably for this. There were several reasons, primarily because this is considered spot zoning, which is not something that we should be doing in this town just to accommodate one person's needs. It was discussed that he would benefit from changing the zoning so that he could sell alcohol. And I asked him specifically, you allow your patrons to drink alcohol on the campsite, correct? And he acknowledged yes. So pretty much it was just to benefit from the alcohol sales. Now I'm taking off my planning board hat and speaking as a resident at 67 Wareham Street. I live in South Carver. I know how dangerous that area is, and I'm very concerned about you providing more of your patrons alcohol, because I have come very, very close on many occasions to getting into car accidents there. Moreover, what about the abutters? I have family that owns cranberry bogs that abut that property. Do you have any idea what that impact will be on to them? And then just the neighbors in general, trying to have an establishment there that serves alcohol is not something we should be doing. And by spot zoning, you will then leave us with a mess if you pack up and leave the town. God only knows what will go in there. So I just want to make that clear to everyone. We voted against it. I'm against it as a resident, and thank you.
Mr. Carter.
John Carter, 24 Johns Pond Road. I just wanted to, based on the last speaker, I had some questions with regards to, has public safety opined on the change in zoning and what effect it might have in Carver?
Can't hear you, John. Want to say that again?
Excuse me. Through you, Mr. Moderator, with what the last speaker just said, I wonder if public safety has opined on the change of this zoning and the effect it might have from public safety standpoint.
Happy to ask that. Chief Dufely, Chief Ryan, Chief Weston, has anyone approached you on this particular warrant article? Would any of you like to opine in on what's the story on Jellystone over the weekends during the week?
Greg Weston, Fire Chief. On behalf of this article, no one has approached me on this. So I would say right now, with the fire department, we average 6 or less incidents per year to that campground.
Okay. And what about the police department? Chief Dufely?
The same, nobody's asked us, but a similar amount of calls. I looked at the past 2 years. We've been there several times, as we'd expect. There's a large population there, probably 3 or 4 disturbances and a couple of domestics and a car accident at Mayflower Road, so that's it.
Okay. Is that over a weekend or over the whole period of time, or?
That's over the past 2 years.
Okay. Chief Ryan? I'll give you a chance, I promise. I wanted...
Mike Ryan, 28 Birch Street, EMS Chief. Yeah, we've 6 to 8 calls this summer there. Nothing that really, I don't think this law would change, maybe add a couple calls at the most, but it's not anything that's a real issue for our department to handle.
Mr. Carter, did that answer your questions?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay. You're next.
Rob Harrington, Beaver Dam Road. So my family goes to Jellystone once a year for the past 2 years, and we really enjoy it. I intend to go more in the future, quite honestly. But I will say that my experience this year, although we had a good week, was we had a negative experience with the park's current enforcement of their own existing rules and quiet hours and disturbances and things of that nature. So I would say we should be careful about introducing the sale of alcohol, given that, as has been stated, alcohol is already permitted, and adding that may be an added concern that I would argue would take away from the value of the park the way I see it. I will say that Jean Pierre was very nice dealing with an issue that I had with him this year, and I don't want to take away from that and the professionalism to which he handled it. But some of his staff I did have some issues with their own rules without the sale of alcohol, and I think that should be kept in mind.
Thank you. Ma'am.
Karen Lapham, 20 Santana Way. I was at a previous meeting with that gentleman regarding the campground. I don't believe that we should be changing our bylaws. That's what we have them for. They're there to protect our cranberry bogs, our land. That's what they're for. I'm against changing our bylaws. Secondly, he has stated several times that it's open to the public, yet I don't believe that it's open to the public unless you're a registered guest there. So I think that's 2 different things. It's not open to the public. I also believe that as a 40-something year camping person, you know, there's a couple towns over I camp, and you know they have like a a hall where if they want to have events, or at nighttime, they'll have gatherings and events. They sell beer and wine at those events, but those doors are guarded. Nobody's leaving those doors with their alcohol that they're selling there. It's for that building only. This man said that down the road, he'd like to expand his business and put in a facility where he can have a restaurant type and all of that. Well, then maybe we'll have to wait and address that issue at that time and address your beer and wine issue at that time. I have had a lifelong friend that passed away because their parents were irresponsible while they were camping with alcohol involved, and it really affects families. If it's about families, you come with your groceries, you come with your camping gear, you come with all your stuff. If you need alcohol, I would think you come with your alcohol, and then it's not on you what happens after that, other than that person made that decision. I don't think that a family campground that keeps saying he's public, I don't believe he is, should be having a beer and wine alcohol license at this particular time, and I'm definitely against changing bylaws. We changed too many in our town. Thank you.
Connie?
Connie Shea, Plymouth Street, Carver. My concerns with this is to support Ms. Williams in this. It is spot zoning. It is not on any municipal plan or study. It provides no public benefits. It doesn't provide housing, transportation, or any other legitimate public goals of this town. Not only that, the biggest concern is it's to be a general business area, which would allow any business that is on Main Street to take place in there. All they have to do is get permitted for it. The other issue is the safety involved in it. It's called Shoestring Road because it's just about that big. And there's concerns with that. There's been at least one accident at the end of it with people turning in and out. But also it'll take away from the local businesses, and it's just a problematic issue. If Jellystone ever leaves, what's going to go in there? It's surrounded by residential neighborhoods, and this is just completely inappropriate for that neighborhood. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Connie. Yes, sir.
Kyle Bodell, 158 Tremont Street. Literally am right next door to it. I will say Jellystone has done a pretty good job of being better than Shady Acres. As an abutter, I have seen car crashes. I have heard brakes squealing. Most of the time when those car crashes do happen, I'm outside helping, moving any parts of car parts and stuff like that. With the rezones, I don't think we should be doing it. For one, that, they say tourism. Carver, we have 44. We're 5 minutes away from 495, 10 minutes away from Route 3. If, this is about an alcohol thing, it's more or less money in Jellystone's pocket when they're trying to say, bring tourists here, but none of the locals are actually going to get that if this passes. And like I said, the biggest thing is safety. Like I said, I see it every day. RVs, they get bigger and bigger. The brake tires, there's black tire marks right in front of the house every day. Either RVs trying to pull in and out, cars going 70, 80 miles an hour. There is some problematics to this that I don't think we should be even trying to discuss a rezone. We should be discussing more safety.
Okay.
Either a set of lights or flashing lights or something, but.
Thank you. JP, I said I'd give you the last word.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure here. I'm going to wrap up this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I had kind of a different vision before all this went down, but I live at that property. That's my home. Get to live and work there. Sometimes it's a real pain in the ass, but it's home. My son goes to school here, and he's one of my best employees. I don't really want to get into all the economic benefits of what we bring, but the facts remain. The Boston Brook family, myself, we put a lot of time and money into this property to make a premier campground in the United States right here in Carver, Massachusetts. This could have went anywhere, everybody. This could have went Plymouth, Bourne, wherever, but it's Carver. We've invested a lot of money in cabins and buildings, a water park. It's a destination. A lot of companies around here benefit extremely well, and I'm proud of it. I love Giorgio's. You can see my belly. My guests and I go there quite a bit. The reality, I know the young lady here, she has a vested interest. They sell liquor up the road. They don't want to lose that. And we're not advocating to have a liquor store. We want to be able to sell simple beer and wine in the retail store. But some context here. A few years ago, we were in front of this very board here, and we applied for a special permit, and actually were granted it. But then realized after the fact that we were zoned improperly, so they had to retract that approval. So here we are, 2 years later, coming in. We employ a lot of kids that work and live in this town, and adults as well. All what I'm saying is from a competitive advantage, from saving guests to make a decision whether they go to Carver or they go to Milton, New Hampshire, or they go down to Plymouth, wherever, Ellis Haven. They have a lot of choices, guys, a lot of choices. It's an amenity, it's a service. We're a full-class, full-service resort, and that goes with the territory. A lot of resorts have alcohol. I mean, it just is what it is. I'd rather keep those people on the campground than let them go off-site, go down the road, buy something, maybe get in an accident by going to Dave's. Maybe they'd stay on the property and have their alcohol instead of going out. But the reality is, we're not asking to have a liquor store here. We just want to be competitive, and we want to be able to deliver a world-class product to our guests that come here and keep the benefits rolling for this town and employ as many people as we can. I think we're all into that. We don't want anybody telling us what to do with our businesses. Well, the reality is we've made a huge investment here, and all what I'm asking for is the opportunity to be competitive on a national, global basis. And that's who we are. I mean, it's an amazing destination and campground. I understand the concern and all the benefits. You heard the police and EMS and all. Very few times over the course of 5 years. I've been living here for over 5 years now. Very few times. There hasn't been one major incident on that property. Nothing. Okay? So I'm just saying that we take it very seriously. We understand. And as a company, we do have a lot of alcohol, beer, liquor licenses. We know what that means. We know the liability of it. We take it very seriously. And I can assure you that we're a proud member of this community, and we want to continue to be so. And I would hope that you all would support us. I don't think the ask is a lot here on that. And somebody was mentioning we do have some neighbors up the top of our road, but we're surrounded by cranberry bogs in the state forest. King Richard's Fair down the road is right in the middle of all residential, and they have all kinds of alcohol at that place. I don't know if you've been there, but it's a lot different. So I'm just asking that you'll give us some thought to this process. If you decide no, it is what it is, and I will respect that. But at the end of the day, I would hope that you would err on the side of what we're trying to do in this town, and it is a part of it. It's not a big part of it. Yes, we would go on and we would live, but at the end of the day, I would just ask you for the consideration. Thank you for your time, everybody.
Hey, JP.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. John Mason, 177 Tremont Street. Lived about a quarter mile from the Jellystone Park, formerly Shady Acres, for the last all of my life, 39 years. I can attest to the screech marks. I've had my brakes to the floor numerous times as campers come pulling out. It's a terrible intersection. This campground has been nothing but a nuisance to me as a cranberry grower and a property owner. I've had people jogging and biking through my property thinking it's recreation land. When politely asking a trespassing jogger, reminding him it's private property, his response was, "Call the police." I told him where to go. The police showed up in my yard and told me I threatened him with a firearm. So to me, that's a major incident, okay? This summer, I had to sit in traffic for 10 minutes while an accident was cleared out in front of it with a RV. All right? This place has been nothing but a nuisance to the residents and the landowners around it, and it is no place to increase alcohol consumption, and I'm not for this, and I ask that everybody vote no.
It's your second time. This is the second and last time.
Yes,
You only get
this
two
will be last
times.
time. Sorry,
Go ahead.
guys. Thank you. I just wanted to speak on one point that the Jellystone representative has said, that other parks and other fairs do sell alcohol and in large amounts. Just want to reiterate that Jellystone is a park for kids and families. I think majority of the people who go there bring their kids and families. Again, I know they said they'd only sell beer and wine, but a couple glasses of beer and wine to some 16-year-olds will end up resulting in a lot of the accidents you guys have aforementioned. So, yes, thank you so much.
Mr. Moderator, may I have one more minute, please? You said I would get the last word. I just want to...
Make it short.
I appreciate that. And it's the first I'm aware of this incident with the gun on your property, sir, and I apologize if that went down, but I did not hear about it. Second of all, this has been a campground for over 50 years, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it hasn't changed. I mean, that campground was there for a long time. And I continue with the investment that's put in there and the campground level that's there now, it's not going to change for the next foreseeable future. I just want to say that. But again, thank you all for your time and consideration.
Okay. Thank you, JP. I think they want to call the vote. Connie was up before the yelling started. You were too, actually. Go ahead, Connie, quickly.
Connie Shea, 148 Plymouth Street, Carver. Just to reiterate, the last campground closed down, and it wasn't a general business zone. Things would have been a lot different. We would have been stuck with a lot of problems, a big white elephant on our hands, and this town's not prepared for it on Shoestring Road. Thank you.
All right. Are we set? We're going to call a question. Article 11 is a petition article. It requires a 2/3 vote. They're asking for a zoning change. I will open the vote now. Set the clock for 30 seconds. You may begin. Ten seconds. Close the vote. Motion fails. 33 to 216. Article 12, last but not least.
I move the article as written in the warrant.
Need a second? I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. Article 12, as written in the warrant. Did you want to speak on it? It is open.
So when I just want to let you know the history of this. So when I found out that Pine Tree Village was getting a $4.4 million grant, I started to do some research and found out it was from the Affordable Housing Department of the state. Then I started reading articles on it and said, oh my God, Maura Healey turns around and says that this grant award, which aims to preserve affordable housing in the state during an event on June 20th, 24, if I remember correctly. So if the governor thinks that mobile homes are affordable housing, how many mobile homes do we have in this town? A huge amount. 40B stops developers from bypassing our bylaws. So what this does is it forces the Board of Selectmen to act on our behalf for legal and media. So basically go to social media, go to the newspapers and say, hey, listen, we want to go ahead and put this to the legislature, all right? We want Carver's mobile homes to be considered affordable housing, all right? You see housing prices now in this town, the lowest I saw was like $340 or something like that, and going up to $1 million, all right? But mobile homes are running in between $215, $220, all the way up to, I think there was one. Yeah, there was one that was 400. You're right. There was one for 440,000. All right. The problem here is that we have to do something to stop the developers from doing it. This is an option. I gave it to the select board. I talked to Mark Townsend about this when it first happened and said, hey, listen, we should do something about it. Nothing happened. So this is my opportunity for the Board of Selectmen. So basically what I'm looking for you guys to do is to file a special legislation, all right, through our state rep and state senators that would support all these mobile homes to be considered affordable housing concerning 40B. And my question is, would the Board of Selectmen be for that? Yes or no? Can I get an answer from any of you guys up there?
We'd have to discuss it. We haven't discussed it, so I
Mr.
can't
Chairman,
speak for the entire
first of all, you need to understand, but this is a non-binding referendum, and I don't think it's a question and answer period for the select board. You've made a citizen's petition.
Right.
So whether they vote they're willing to deal with this or not deal with this is irrelevant because you're looking to put this to a vote of this town meeting. But I want to clarify, this is a non-binding referendum. So even if you vote yes, there is nothing binding to make them do it. So, Mr. Corbo, if you'd like to add anything to this, or Mr. Chairman, if you'd like to, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to clarify that.
Yes, thank you. Through you, Mr. Moderator, town meeting cannot compel the select board to file special legislation through a petition like this or post things on social media or initiate lawsuits. You know, you can make a recommendation, you can ask them to consider something, but you know, this is really just the opinion of the people sitting in this room as to whether or not you support what is in this petitioned article. I see Representative Gasky up, and you know, I am aware of 2 bills that are pending in the legislature that address this very issue, and he may know of much more or what the status of those are. But you know, again, this is just really a sense of the meeting, an opinion of the people in this room, and you cannot force the select board to do anything in this petition.
If you don't mind, Representative Gasky, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. John Gasky.
I'll give you the last shot, Bob.
Plymouth Street. In the position of state representative, there was a. This has been presented to the legislature in the 193rd Congress. It did not leave committee, and the way that the bills go is they're presented to committee. The chairs of the committee, if they are in support of them, then they will push those bills that they're in support of for the committee to vote on. So those are the hurdles that we have to deal with as far as getting something like this done. There are bills currently in the 194th that word similarly to accept mobile homes and manufactured homes as affordable housing. But right now, it just hasn't, they have not progressed through the committees yet.
Thank you, sir. Go, she was standing up first, but you're next. Go ahead.
Brenda Bacall, Kennedy Drive, Carver. So I just have a couple of concerns with the way actually this was written. Because the governor didn't give that grant to Pine Tree Village. And I have a question. Did you talk to anybody at Pine Tree Village or see any paperwork associated with that $4.4 million grant?
No, I just read all the articles that was put in there, and from the state website that said it was $4.4 million, and the quotes from the governor.
You know if there are any restrictions tied to it, or, I mean, we've determined here tonight when the veterans person got up to ask about the veterans getting the home, and it was determined that mobile homes are personal property.
That's right.
So it can't technically be affordable housing if it's personal property. And there's a lot to do with why other towns have tried this and haven't gotten it. Technically, the people don't own the land under their home, and we're not governed by any certain restrictions. We can sell houses for $400,000. We don't have to limit what we sell our homes for to, you know, we don't rent, we don't do Section 8 housing. Right. We have certain bylaws and structures that we have to, right, that we're governed by. Like I said, other towns have tried this. People try to use the mobile home factor to not have to deal with 40B. It just never passes, it never goes through. Right. So,
I think they tried it with Oak Point and Middleborough, and it failed.
And we don't know the repercussions. We don't know if it was to go through, would the state step in and try to change our structure? Would the state step in and say, you have to rent so many of your units? I mean, I know you wanted to do that to us when we got the wells. You wanted the town to take a couple of our lots and have to rent them out or use those for affordable housing. I don't know who I would have thrown out of their house to accommodate that, but you know, you can't just keep saying you want something and coming after the seniors in the town to try to get it. And I think that's what you constantly want to do. This is not even written that it makes any sense. It's not valid to try to force a select board to use media, it's just poorly written. And again, it just sucks in mobile home parks that you really don't know anything about.
Thank you, Brenda. Ma'am.
Denise McFarland, South Meadow Village, sorry. My question's actually for town council. As the South Meadow Village attorney, I do find that to be a conflict that you're representing the town and South Meadow Village. But be that as it may, I'm
sorry. I didn't get that. Would you say that again, please?
He's the attorney for South Meadow Village as well as the attorney for the town here. So my question, though, is how does this affect a shareholder community like South Meadow Village? Will we be forced to sell our homes at less than market value? Would that affect our shares? And we're owned. We're not owned by a conglomerate or anything. We're shareholder owned. So I'm concerned by our shares because we pay a share at South Meadow Village, as you know. And given that, is there any exemption that South Meadow Village could take if this passes and we become 40B, if the governor so chooses?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a non-binding referendum. You understand?
I do now.
Okay.
Point of order, Mr. Moderator.
No matter how this gets voted on, nobody has to follow it because it's non-binding. So, Mr. Bellman?
So my point of order is Greg Corbo the attorney for South Meadow Village?
First I ever heard of that.
Yeah.
Through you, Mr. Moderator, yes, I am. And I had
So there's a
nothing to
conflict of
do with
interest?
this article. This is a petitioned article. The Select Board did not ask me to give an opinion on this article. And there is no conflict, no adversity between South Meadow Village and the town of Carver with respect to this issue. The town hasn't even taken a position on.
You have an interest for the town and a different interest for the South Meadow Village. There is, if you hold one opinion for the town. Maybe it's not on this matter. Maybe it's on another matter. I just wanted it noted that you happen to be the town council and the council for South Meadow Village, and I do find that to be a conflict, but I can have that opinion.
Through you, Mr. Moderator, I have never worked on a matter where South Meadow Village was adverse to the town of Carver. These types of conflicts have to be decided on a case-by-case basis, and certainly if a matter involving South Meadow Village were to come in front of a board of the town of Carver, I would not represent both parties in that action. But you can't say that I have an overriding conflict to represent Carver at all because I also represent South Meadow Village. They're two completely different entities that have very little adverse communications with each other. I've never, in all my years of representing both Carver and South Meadow Village, had any sort of case or dispute between the two, ever.
Okay, I think you are taking this personally.
But we're getting into a debate now. So do you want to argue this case with him privately?
No, I don't. I just want.
All right, then I'd like you to end the questioning because this is the fourth time you've come to the mic. So thank you. Donna.
I'll let Mr. Dexter go.
Oh, actually, Sarah wants to speak, and I was going to give her the okay. So if you don't mind, Ben.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm actually going to
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Sarah Hewins, 52 Forest Street. I just wasn't sure whether people were aware that petition articles, we have no choice about. We don't vote on them. We have no choice but to put them on the warrant.
As they're printed.
That's why they're called petition articles.
Right.
So we won't vote on them. We have no opinion. We might have an opinion privately, but as a board.
Yeah, they can't be modified. They can't be changed.
There's nothing we actually can do but put it on the warrant, just so people know.
That's correct. Donna.
I know that I'm probably going to be out of order, but tonight is the last town meeting that our chief will be at, and I just thought we ought to just say thank you to him for all the many years that he's served our town.
Get him back in April.
And I know, but are you going to be here in April? He doesn't know, see? So anyway, thank you to our chief for all the years of service that he's done for our town.
It was very nice in the middle of an article discussion. I like that. I wouldn't have let it happen, so it's okay. Bob, go ahead. You got the final word.
I concur exactly. Our chief, awesome guy. All right. I have the utmost respect for him. I want to bring this attention to the Board of Selectmen. That's why I did this. Okay, if it gets voted in favor here with you guys to put it forward, I'm going to go down to Wareham and I'm ask them to do the same thing, and I'll go to Middleborough, ask them to do the same thing, to say, hey, listen, let's start making some momentum in here. All right? It only takes one person to start something. All right? And that's what I'm trying to do. Thank you.
Middleborough's tried it several times with Oak Point, and they failed. So I'm going to call the question on Article 12. It's a petition article. Open the vote. 30 seconds. And don't everybody leave so we can say congratulations to Chief Dufley again. Until Donna. Except the chief is now leaving. 10 seconds. You know we'll get you back, Chief. Close the vote. 53 yes, 104 no. The article fails. Okay.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Good night, everybody. Thank you.